If you've ever imagined of starting your own housing program, there is no reason that after we're done here tonight that you shouldn't go to forstonconsultants.com/webinars and watch the webinar, guys, because a lot of you have wanted to start a group home or traditional assisted living facility, but that stuff takes license. It takes a lot of time to open. There's a lot of red tape to jump through. You have to ask for permission. We teach you guys how to open an ILF, an independent living facility, where you can house the homeless, displaced adults, or anybody that has a guaranteed income, and it doesn't require a license, and you don't have to own the property. Make sure you watch that free webinar at forstonconsultants.com/webinars, and then set up a free strategy call so that me and my team can get you started. Let's get back to the show.
What's going on, everybody? Good morning. Good morning.
Crooked today.
And welcome to the live broadcast. Don't wait to be great. I'm your host, Mr. Derek Forston, and I'm here with my beautiful wife, Miss Shay, and we are Forston Consultants together. So thank y'all so much for being here. Y'all got a lot of choices of where you could be, but y'all chose to be here, and we super appreciate that. A lot of you guys just joined us from the TikTok channel, and a lot of you guys joined from all of that social media that you've seen this morning. So we just want to say thank you. Go ahead and put in the chat where you're located, city and state. And remember, this is a live recording of independent living facility talk. So Shay, tell the people who you are, what you do, and also mention how beautiful that shirt is and where did you get that from?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm Shanya Shay Forston. Everybody knows me as Shay. I am the president and founder of the Angela Denise Foundation, 501c3 nonprofit organization in Orlando, Florida, where we take women from homeless to hopeful, utilizing the independent living facility model that we've coined here at Forston Consultants. Don't be fooled by the rest. Come and consider the best. The ones that have trademarked, have been doing this thing for years. For a lot of, 9 years, going on 10 years of training and teaching people how to open. And we run our own independent living facility. So it's not like we just teach it or talk about it. We also do it. And we've got a plethora of individuals like yourselves that are operating independent living facilities all over the nation, underneath the Forston Consultant teaching and education. So again, I'm just happy to be here. Happy of the happiest Saturdays, and let's have a great morning. Let's talk. Let's dive into some great conversation, and let's see where this thing goes. You never know what conversations come out of Derek and I. So
absolutely,
let's get it done, D.
And what's pretty cool today is, guys, usually I come here and I have a whole curriculum and I have a bunch of things that I want to talk to y'all about, right? Today is probably going to be a little bit different. I'm going to take some questions, some concerns, but what I always do is I'll never take for granted that people just know us. So let me ask right now, just by way of asking, how many of you all are just like completely new to us? I see a lot of old timers here. I see a lot of consistent, faithful people here, but I do see some names on the chat, both on YouTube and on TikTok, because we're streaming live on TikTok and Facebook and Instagram. So if you're completely new to us, let me know by texting the word new. Just text the word new, and also let me know what city and state and how did you find us? And we usually ask you guys for a microphone check. Let us know if you all can hear us loud and clear. I would hate to be talking right now thinking you guys can hear every word I'm saying, but you don't. So let us know if you're new to us.
Time out, because I don't think you're not looking at the chat. So Derek, there is a big congratulatory celebration that we need to conduct right now. Kathy and Ronald finally got their first ILF.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
They pick up their keys next
I'm going to have to bring my roadcaster a little bit closer to me. I think it's possible. Wow.
Wait. They pick up their keys next week. Super congratulations to you all. Derek, you're gonna have to put the pinky out for real today.
I know, right?
You better make sure that pinky is out, right?
Let the people know, like, how long you guys have been under us and you have a property already, because people are going to be asking that. That's probably a good way to lead this room off. Big shout out to Kathy and Ronald of Pathway to Salvation.
Ronald said, we in the game. My pinky is up.
Wow.
Congratulations.
So take us through that story, because what we're going to have to do is probably pull you guys on one day and interview that.
Yeah.
We will definitely talk about that in your private community, because I want other people to hear it.
Yes.
But just kind of take us through your story now. Tell us in the chat, More so tell the people that's looking and watching though.
This is so.
How long ago did you discover us? And you said you pick up keys next week.
Next week.
How long did that process take them, Shay, is what I want to know.
Next week.
That's exciting. Wow. And you guys are super new to us.
They pick up keys next week.
Wow. Is it a 4-bed, 2-bath or a 3-bed, 2-bath?
No, Derek, I don't think you get it. They pick up keys next week.
Man, that's why I'm asking how many bedrooms.
This is the second. Okay, so this is the second family this week to give this information. The Asong family picked up keys yesterday to their first ILF. So congratulations to them as well as you all. So this is a great momentous occasion for you guys. Soak it all in. Right now, this is where the fun begins. This is where you need to be super vigilant.
The real game starts
this
now.
Is where the work starts, right? This is where you can ramp up your social media as well. So Kathy, Ronald, make sure you guys have a tripod or something that you can plop your phone up on and make sure that you're posting and you're gathering footage, videos, pictures. Do all of that in this season because this is going to help really drive your social media, with your own social posts, like your process. What are you doing? What happened? Take people on the walk around with you, take people on a tour with you, right? And this is super important for you guys to start sending out those email campaigns, inviting people to your open house. This is that time. You're in that season now where all systems are a go. Also, let me know if you guys have access to your DFS. If not, text me because we did get some amazing news yesterday. So all of my people that are listening for Digital Flow Solutions, there has been a little hold up with some bottlenecking in the creation of websites, but we were able to push in for you all to get phone licensing done, which was something I didn't speak about because I wanted to make sure we got the approval before I let the cat out the bag. But now we can actually activate your accounts without having the website active. So the only thing you may not be able to do in the beginning is the text messaging, but you will be able to receive and make calls from your Digital Flow Solutions platform. You'll be able to send all your email campaigns. You'll be able to utilize it as is. The only thing that will not be up and operational is your website, but we will make sure that there is a notification that says website under construction or something with your logo so that people know that it's not just some standard information, but it is your actual landing place for your business. So super excited for that. That was a big success for us yesterday, Derek. Oh my goodness. That made everybody on the team excited. And now people can actually move forward and get everything set up and scheduled. So I'm excited about it. So guys, congratulations. Let's put all of your tools to work and get to getting, right? This is where rubber meets the road and you guys are going to have to work hard, get that word out and make sure that you are connecting with the case managers, social workers, and others in the community. So I'm excited for you. Oh, wow. Listen, Derek, they said we followed your advice, prayed diligently. I've been marketing on Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, social workers, case managers, homeless shelters, and attending events. See,
they're following direction and moving at the speed of instruction. The first thing I'm going to say.
First, I'm going to say this. You guys are hats off to you because I've got people right now that have been in this situation or in this game with properties for a longer time frame than you, and they are not doing half of what you all are doing. And this is the mindset that anyone with the want to go into business has to have. Nothing's going to happen without you making it happen, right? It's great to have virtual assistants. Yep. It's great to have people to assist you in the process. But at the same time, you want to make sure that you are still doing the work yourself. Nothing is better than having the person that they're going to engage with on a regular basis being available to the case manager, to the social worker, to those that you're connecting within the community, going and sitting in those meetings. Your virtual assistant can't sit in the meetings for you. You have to be the one willing and ready to go and show up. Yep. So I'm excited to see this. I'm excited that you all are already attending events. This is big.
Yeah.
Because this is where a lot of the connections come from. You're going to get to meet people on this journey in sitting in these events that either have houses. So ding, ding, ding. Now you're opening up the door for the HRA. B, have the calls or receiving the calls, or have a program that needs housing, or we're setting or another organization that's a grant ready and positioned organization that's saying, hey, I've got this written into my grant, but I need housing. And now you become their support, right? You become that added means to an end for their program. So this is super exciting.
Yeah. And it's so exciting, even on the part where, and I jokingly tell you guys this all the time, our coaching is amazing. Our coaching is on a scale of 1 to 10, it's 1,000. But you know one thing that I can't control, and I say this all the time,
what you do.
I can't control what y'all put into it.
Right.
But I always say this, when it's people like Ronald and Kathy that follow the instruction, it's people like y'all that make Shay and I look genius. But at the end of the day, guys, I'll admit, it really ain't genius. It's leading out with what you said. You followed instruction. I talked about that pound cake. If I bake the best pound cake in the world and I'm teaching it to you, why wouldn't you just follow the recipe? And don't start adding your powdered sugar and your caramel icing and all of your toppings until you've mastered this thing that we're teaching you. And to me, they're exemplifying that. They're following the instruction, and they're doing this other thing that we always say, Shay, they're moving at the speed of instruction. They're not getting the information from me and sitting on it.
Right.
And they, just like a lot of y'all, they got jobs, children, family, responsibilities, life. And the very things that a lot of people will tell me as a coach, because I hear it all as a coach, Shay, and 80% of that is excuses.
Yeah.
These people are not making the excuses, and you see what happens when you don't. So watch me answer a question that a lot of y'all ask me that this family just answered for you. Derek, how long will it gonna take me to get started to get my own house and my own people? They just put in the chat, they met me in April. Their coaching started after, and here we are not even halfway through June, and they got a property already, ready to fill it.
But can we talk about what,
Boy, that's
what else
so
they
exciting
said?
to me. Wow.
Let me tell you, let's put the other comment.
And welcome again to all of my new people, because I'm glad if you're new, I'm glad you're hearing this, because now you're hearing what's in the coaching even before you speak to me. Back on you, Shay.
Yeah, I want to talk about this. And Ronald, I'm trying to get my coffee so I can put my pinky up with you, okay?
I'm at work right now. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? This is, so they said this, Derek. They said the business polos with our logo helped us look so much more professional and made it easier to talk to people. They take you much more serious, especially when you have a website to go with it. It's proof in the concept.
And it's everything we give y'all for the coaching.
Everything.
Wow.
Right. And I love the fact that, you know, you were able to show up branded, show up looking like you're a business owner and entrepreneur, showing up looking like the product that they will receive. And a lot of times people don't show up looking like the product that someone will receive. They come looking halfway done. Right. And that makes a big difference. When you show up in a bonnet, flip-flops, today, don't mind me. I'm looking a little rough. I got on a hoodie and some joggers, but I'm literally saying, don't do that when you're going to either speak to landlords, when you're going to, you know, advertise your business. And I'm saying this because a lot of people don't realize that people do this. People do show up wrong. And that's half the problem. A lot of people don't take the vested interest in their business and put the money in to start the business successfully, like going and getting branded polos. I'm sure it didn't cost you no more than $50 for a couple of polos, right? You know, going and getting.
Ask them to, because I know them so good. Ask Kathy and Ronald, have they gotten their polos or their branded apparel yet?
They said yes. That's how they showed up.
Exactly. See? I wasn't even listening, but that was that point to prove again how they showed up.
It's how they showed up. And that's so important and imperative for anybody that's entering into the business space. You know, prepare yourself financially. Prepare yourself financially, because there are going to be little nuances that any consultant or coach will give you to make things better, right? Like first and foremost, a website. You can get one, you know, all of our coaching clients get digital flow solutions, which is not just a website. They get a CRM, a phone number. They get all access to being able to do all of their contracts and all of that stuff under one place. So, and that's $37 a month. So that's a nuance. That's something that you're going to need to run your business. So when you're thinking of starting a business, make sure you have in mind the dollars and cents, the possible cost that's going to come to pay for your business. What people don't realize and don't take into account is that whatever you put into the business in that first year of startup is a blessing to you financially on your taxes, right? Those are all considered owner deposits into your business or owner investments, which you can write off on your personal taxes because you are investing in your business. And those are the things I want people to keep in mind, right? It's not always about, well, how much do I need to start? How much? It's going to be different for every person. Kathy and Ronald may want to have a 10-bedroom, 5-bath. Your budget may only allow for a 1-1. Start somewhere and grow. Use all of the income from that 1-1 to get you into a 2-2 or a 3-2, whatever's next. So be mindful that when you start a business, don't look so quickly to pull money out of the business. Let the money in the business grow the business. The money that the business is acquiring grow the business. So I just wanted to say that because I know there's always questions about, well, how much does it cost to get started? It depends. Everybody is different. Now, on the coaching aspect, our consulting is this year $4,997, $3 away from $5,000. Okay, that's a consultant. You can look anywhere. You can vet all the rest, but know that we have been the ones out here screaming independent living facilities, shared housing since before COVID. Okay, well before COVID. That's why it's trademarked by us. But note that, you know, coaching is definitely important, especially if you're entering into a space that you don't have any knowledge of. Okay, vet those that are coaching or consulting, vet them. Make sure that they are the right fit for you. You know, our teaching style may not be conducive for you. And if it's not, we get it. But make sure you are vetting those that you are getting consultations with. Make sure that they can talk it like they walk it. Okay.
That's a song, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is. But yeah, I'm super excited. And I just took
That's
a whole
exciting.
big trail, but I wanted to talk about that because I think a lot of people get caught in the weeds when it comes to starting a business and they're scratching their head because they're making, you know, money is necessary, but grow into what you want to become, right? If you're afraid to put money into something or invest money into something that you feel is designed and desired for you to enter into, if you're afraid about putting that money out there, you're afraid to start the business. So don't do it. I'm gonna just tell you, like, don't do it because every excuse you get, every excuse that you can make up to cause you to fail will be the thing that you do. And that's not what this is. This is truly an opportunity to do good and do good.
Absolutely.
Okay, back to you, Derek. I know I said a lot.
No, good stuff. So far, everybody, does that make sense what we've said so far? Obviously, we just kind of jumped into it. So for my new people like Miss Crystal Johnson, that lady that also, I think it was Lee PDW from Atlanta, you all are new to us, right? Is any of this making sense already? And just like I said, I never want to just take for granted. And again, put in the chat again if you're new to us. If you are completely new to us, let me know in the chat. I'm going to give a brief overview of who we are and what we do. And we just going to jump right back into it. And I also want to answer questions. So the lady that asked a question about the 5-bedroom home and having multiple stories, I'm actually going to answer your question next. But I'm going to just say, yes, this works in all 50 states. We don't care where you live at. If you love God, love people, and love real estate, this is your next ministry. This is your breakthrough to leave your job if that's what you desire. So y'all, I left my job 8 years ago to do this full time.
Right.
So my name is Derek Forston. As you can see, I'm also branded like the people I'm coaching. How dare I tell Kathy and Ronald to be branded and I come on here with a shirt that say Gucci?
Hey, be nice.
Now that would be okay. But most places I go, I'm branded in terms of what I do. Right. So you don't have to ask me, or I don't have to kind of always say what I do. I'm already walking in it. Yeah. And it usually starts a conversation. This $4 t-shirt, I'm going to repeat that. This $4 t-shirt that Shay because she bought one of those screen printed things years ago. This $4 t-shirt and this label thing probably cost another $3. Starts a conversation that brings me $900 checks per bed.
You got goosebumps.
$850, because as I'm saying, it's because some of these people can't imagine what Kathy and Ronald just went through. Now, if you would be honest, can 3 of y'all tell me, Derek, wow, I just heard Kathy and Ronald say they've been under your coaching from April to now, and they have a house already. Mm-hmm. If you ain't no hater and you're just real to yourself and everybody else, put in the chat, wow, Derek, man, I almost can't imagine that. But I want that to be me. I'm not going to be jealous. I'm going to be next. 5 of y'all type in the chat, I'm going to be next.
Absolutely.
Because that's what we live by, right, Shay? Don't be jealous.
Be next.
Be next. But I want 3 of y'all to say, wow, man, these guys met you in April on the when their coaching started. But you mean to tell me they got a house? They got the apparel of who they are? And through Derek's coaching and God's goodness, we're going to have 3 or 4 people in that place the week they get the keys to it.
But can I tell you?
Oh, Lord, somebody going to miss that.
Derek, we're going to go back to
You should have let that pause for a minute, but go ahead.
No, because I want to go back to the fact that they move. When given instruction, they don't sit still. Like, Kathy Darner almost beat you in coaching to where you had to step
Kathy's one of those people that, and not being funny, not to just to blow y'all up today, because I got a bunch of people like Kathy and Ronald. They're just the newest to it.
Yeah.
But if I was able to develop a prototype, and this is no disrespect to nobody I'm coaching, I could think of 5 of y'all right now that if I threw all y'all in a blender and poured it out over all of the people that I coach, Kathy and Ronald would be in that. Dornica Rigel would be in that. Katara Johnson would be in that.
Yeah.
Tiffany Walker would be in that.
Yeah.
Angela Brooks would be in that. There's a lot of people I can just keep naming. I don't want to make anybody feel bad, but these guys are being the prototype for what the coaching looks like. I tell you guys all the time, the one thing I can't control is what you do with it.
With the information.
When I give you the information and the coaching and all of these tools, some people sit on it for a year or 2, a month or 2, week or 2. Some people got jobs, kids, responsibilities. All of us do. But some of us move differently at the speed of instruction by the desire that's in your heart. I'm going to assume that Kathy and Ronald's heart is so big and they want to do this so bad, they're letting nothing stop them from getting started. Not a website, not social media, not somebody in their family getting sick, not a car accident, because all of this stuff happens, and it's called life, L-I-F-E. Here's the clean version of what life stands for, because my mama probably watching this. L-I-F-E stands for living in a freaked up environment. This world is crazy that we live in.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of distractions that go along with, what God put in your heart, but the devil is a liar, because I'm going to assume that God put this in Kathy and Ronald's heart. It didn't take me to say, Ronald, you should be doing this, bro. It took a prayer from their family and me being on my mission and my purpose, and God merged us together. See how genius God was? I didn't meet Ronald at the gym. Ronald don't live in my city. Kathy don't know me or Shay outside of 2 weeks ago. But now guess what we call them? Family. Because now they're under our coaching and they got the same mission and mindset that we do. Please God, help people, be respected by the community, but make a bunch of money to be able to build God's kingdom and feed their family. 3 of y'all put in the chat, can y'all live with something like that? That you want to please God, you want to help people, you want your community to respect you while you're doing it, but you also want to make enough money to feed your family. Back on you, Michelle.
Can I give a big shout out? Pastor Brown is in here. Hey, Pastor Brown, long time. It's been a minute, but we definitely need to come holler at you.
Absolutely. Good morning, Pastor Brown.
So we'll definitely give you a call.
And just on that note, right? He's a pastor. Right. So if you're a pastor, bishop, you're in church leadership, your church need one of these.
Yeah.
And in fact, if you're not in your leadership team on your church or you ain't got a little pool at your church, you need to have a meeting with your pastor and tell them you just found the cheat code to their ministry and it's going to flow through you.
Yeah, so
Lord
Pastor
have
Brown,
mercy.
I'm gonna get
If
on
you
your
are
calendar.
a pastor, preacher, or bishop, your church need this. Because guess what?
Yeah.
All the needs come anyway. The church. Everybody run to the church because they think the church got everything.
Yeah.
What if we can cover the housing though? Back on you, Michelle.
Yeah, I just say let's definitely get with Pastor Brown. We definitely need to talk because that's a great opportunity that you have in your area. And I'm just looking at the chat, guys. So if you see me keep looking down, it's because I'm looking at my fancy iPad. You know how we do. But yeah, let's get that call going.
I got a lady right now, right? And I'm gonna just throw this out just for extra curriculum and extra credit. I name a lot of people all the time, but I got a lady right now under my coaching, probably less than 4 months. She's on an extended vacation right now with no return date.
Yeah.
How crazy is that? And not being funny. And let me lower my voice because I want this to come across clean and smooth.
Spin your other camera so they can see.
Can you guys imagine taking a vacation right now
with no
return date, and you call yourself on purpose, on a mission for God, and you, what's that other word when you go to other countries to do ministry? Missions trip. Rita and Ken had a desire to go and do ministry outside of the four walls of their church. It was impossible with her having a job. When she got into this ministry, she left her job.
Yeah, really.
Ken was already retired. They got into this. Rita's been on vacation, y'all, for 3 months.
It's been longer than 3 months.
It's longer than 3. Can y'all, now I'll admit, even I can't imagine that today because we're just super busy and got a lot going on. Can y'all imagine getting into a business to where you can take a vacation with no return flight ticket?
And be in purpose, right? So don't
Lord
get that
have mercy.
wrong. Her houses are full. Houses.
Oh Lord, somebody gonna miss this.
How many? And then look, houses, more than one. And then she's getting ready to launch another house in Texas with her daughter. They're getting ready to do some other things. And this all stems from just a simple
one business.
A simple yes. A simple yes, y'all. So we're not saying this because it's not a get rich quick scheme. It's not a do nothing but gain all of this stuff in return. They work these businesses hard. Okay. Some of y'all in our private community see Rita always chatting. She's abroad and she's telling y'all, hey, I've got a possible referral. Hey, there's a possible referral. Her houses are full, guys. And she's overseas and been overseas for a long time. And I don't think they're coming back until conference, which is what, in October? So she's not even, they're not nowhere near coming back.
Rita herself couldn't dream of this life. She told us. She said, I'd imagined it. Like a lot of things that I'm living today, I thought about it, but you know that saying that says, man, I couldn't dream of that. Y'all, I couldn't dream of half of the things that we're involved in today. Guys, I had a job just like most of y'all going Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. But 2 of y'all type in the chat right now, it's gotta be more. 2 of y'all type that in the chat. It's gotta be more than you just getting up to an alarm clock every day and going to a job. Now, I respect everybody that got a 9 to 5 because the Bible says if a man don't work, he don't eat.
Yeah.
But what if we can turn that work into this ministry that we do? Because again, your job is something that you got some skills to do. The work that God has put in your heart and the thing you was born to do is already inside of you. You just got to step into it now. And again, it's ministry. You don't have to be a pastor or a bishop to have a ministry. Me and your pastor are the same people. You just don't believe that. Your pastor loved God. He loved people. And if he was smart, he'll get into real estate. Most of the pastors that I know that I'm kind of cool and friends with, they done caught on now. Derek, you know what, man? You've been telling me this for a while. My church ain't quite the giving church like it should be. The tithe, the offering don't kind of come in how it should. How genius is it for a pastor to get into this, whether it's for himself or you will join it to the church?
Yeah.
Because it still meets the need. Can 5 of y'all tell me, Derek, boy, that's true? Or if I'm lying, say, Derek, that's baloney, bro. But if this is true, what I'm saying, 5 of y'all put in the chat, wow, Derek, man, I never thought of it like that.
Yeah.
Me and your pastor are the same. I got a microphone too. No congregation, but yes, I do, because that's all my coaching clients. And we love God. We love people. We just were smart enough to mix it with real estate. Everybody rich that you can think of right now is involved in real estate. Think of 5 people in your head right now that is doing well in life. I guarantee you they're tied to real estate. But how crazy is that you can involve real estate in this ministry that we have and merge those together and call it ministry. Again, please God, help people, be respected by the community, but also make enough money to feed your family and build God's kingdom. Right. To answer that question in the chat, so that we don't just kind of keep preaching and talking, that lady that stated that she's got a 5-bedroom, I'm going to just actually pull it up. And ma'am, if you can, just put it back in the chat for me.
I'll find it. You can go ahead and keep talking.
But no matter where you live at, this works in all 50 states. And if you're real smart, you join us every Monday, Tuesday, and Saturday for free. Where people say, well, Derek, man, what kind of coaching you got? I got something for everybody. Now you need, and I recommend the one-on-one coaching. Yeah. That's when I become your big brother and I'm in your back pocket. You make no mistakes under my watch. We also got a do-it-yourself version that's the same as my one-on-one coaching. You just don't get me. All my coaching is in video format. We still build your website. You get all the paperwork. You get everything that we do. In fact, that same part of this time last year was $4,500. This year is only $497. Crazy. My one-on-one coaching is normally $75 to $10,000. This year, for the whole year, only $4,997. That's $3 away from $5,000, and we cover the tax. Yep. So my coaching is $1,000. Nobody can beat it, and we're the trademark owners of the independent living facility model. I dare 2 of y'all to take your second phone or your tablet and go to the uspto.gov right now. If my name isn't under independent living facility, I promise you I'll mail you $1,000 check. And 50 of y'all can do that right now. I'll write $50,000 worth of checks right now if you go to the uspto.gov and don't see my name running my big mouth as the ILF owner and creator of it, Shay and I. 2 of y'all do that right now just because they say, wow, y'all, he really wasn't lying about that. I want 2 people right now and put a screenshot on Facebook and call me a liar if it's not there. So don't be fooled by people you hear talking about it. We created it and we trademarked it. That means I had to pay a bunch of money and wait 2 years to get it. And was it worth it?
And prove that you do what you say you do.
Exactly.
So it's not just you go and apply. You've got to put a lot behind that trademarking and then patenting.
And Damien, let me know in the chat, Damien, that basement,
it's finished. So it is
finished. Has a window and or a door. Perfect.
It's livable.
So it sounds like you got a lot of space to do this in. So I'm not sure how long ago you found us. Are you an old timer or are you somebody new? Let me know, Damien, in the chat. Are you newer to us or have you been around a while? But also, Monday, Tuesday, Saturday for free. Bring all your questions. One-on-one coaching says, Derek, hold my hand, bro, because I'm ready to get started. And I want to be like Kathy and Ronald. Get started fast. Or DIY, the way you said, Derek, I don't need you to hold my hand, bro, but give me all that stuff, build my website. Derek, give me that $8,000 worth of paperwork that you give everybody. Yeah. And give me all your curriculum, all your ebooks, Derek, and all your coaching in video format. Because, Derek, I don't need you to hold my hand. That's my DIY, y'all, for only $497. It's the cheat code. Mm-hmm. And then next year, all our prices go back to normal. And I'll admit, my one-on-one coaching guy is going to be way more than what it is now. It's going to probably be double. And it's going to look different. Yeah. Right? So we're getting bigger and better. God is really blessing us, y'all. And I'll admit, that's the only reason. But isn't that a great reason? Because God is blessing us so much, I got to change my one-on-one coaching. So everybody that gets it now to December 31st, you're grandfathered into whatever it is now. But I'll admit, my coaching won't look nothing like it looks this year. Yeah. It's going to be different, meaning the availability. My one-on-one people now, they can call me Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. I'm an open book. And then we still got set sessions every 2 weeks. I'll admit, y'all, starting next year, it won't be like that. Okay. But you people that have it, you get it for the rest of your life. That don't ever change. But my new people, my availability is going to be different. Because y'all know me, I coach at 1,000. And if I can't do that, I won't do it. So next year, y'all look forward to a lot of what I'm going to call group coaching.
Yeah.
You're going to get the same great Derek, the same great Shay, and God going to be all over it. The same coaching, same stuff, but it's going to be in a more of a group setting. I used to have a group coaching called the MSI, Move at the Speed of Instruction group coaching, right? And people loved it. I'm going back to that starting next year, actually, and that's going to probably take over my one-on-one coaching, because my one-on-one coaching going to be 10 grand minimum, right? And there is no call me every day. Like, that stuff's over with. Like, and I'm going to tell you why I'm going to do that and why I'm proud of it. Dr. Jordan, if you're here, shout me out. Dr. Jordan and her family is somebody that bought our DIY less than 45 days ago. That means she don't get to talk to me, and she's never talking to me. But she's on her second property right now, just with the DIY coaching. So there's a lot of people that says, wow, Derek, I can't believe you put all that stuff in that DIY for $497. Guys, Dr. Jordan and her family, and it's a few more, y'all, but she's the newest one. Can you imagine getting my DIY? But don't you get my DIY if you don't move at the speed of instruction.
Right. If you're not,
if you need hand holding, if you're going to have 1,000 questions and you're not coming to YouTube. She says, Derek, we on property number 2. And I bought your DIY less than 45 days ago. That's powerful, Shay. And she definitely get coaching from me.
She said I was like, whoa. I said, Derek.
That's how confident I am that my coaching can change next year. It don't have to be like the way it is now. Y'all don't need that. For 7 years, I've done that, though. Notice we do a lot of things in 7s, too. I didn't notice that. I counted the years up. Shay, we've been coaching this way for 7 years.
Shut up.
What does 7 mean biblically? Me and her, no, because we got married on the 7th. What does 8 mean? Because now next year, my coaching going to be different, y'all. Same great coaching, but in the group format, and you can't call me every day. Like, we getting rid of that, right?
That's good.
But anyway, Shay, back on you.
Damien said they just found you a few minutes ago on Instagram.
That means he probably saw a lot of that social media that went out today.
Welcome.
So Damien, welcome, man. So you just found your new big brother. That's me. And Damien, if you love God, you love people, and you love real estate, you just found your next family, big bro, because this is what we do. Right? So let us know, Damien, how you want to get into it, whether you think you need the one-on-one coaching, the DIY, or will you show up and get the free stuff Monday, Tuesday, and Saturday. I actually have no preference. I leave that on you all. I'm probably the least pushiest coach you're going to ever meet. I don't beg people to buy my coaching. That's between you and God and what he's told you to do. Because I live by a phrase that says procrastination is the arrogant assumption that God will give you more time for something he's already told you to do. So don't procrastinate if you know. In fact, I put a post out this morning that says some of y'all know you've been called to this. Put in the chat, as I'm going back to Shay, put in the chat if you know that you've been called to do this by God. Back on you, Miss Shay.
Yeah, so listen, I'm excited about everything that's happening with everybody. Everyone is doing amazing things. We've got, new family members that are getting houses. Today. Go to exit. No. Go over to the far right and go to exit. There we go. Yeah, Derek would have ended the whole live, y'all.
Nah.
He almost
Not by hitting that plus button. I'm going to bring some of my slides up from my new people. You guys keep the questions in, and I'm going to let Shay chime back in.
So let me help you with that, Derek. Go to the new setup so that you don't minimize our screen so much. So arrow down. So we're training on the live, y'all. Yep, that's the one. And then you want to go ahead and add your there you go. So anyway, as Derek is bringing up his slides that he wants to share with you all, I just want to Derek asked me earlier about the sweatshirt that I'm wearing. So this is the Faith line that is a part of the Angela Denise Foundation's fundraising. This is my Walk by Faith, and it's based on 2 Corinthians 5:7. And you can get these by going to the AngelaDeniseFoundation.org and go to our shop. You can place an order for a t-shirt, hoodies, long sleeve shirts. You just let us know what you're looking for. Pricing starts at $15 per item. So definitely do that. We also have a raffle that we were able to extend due to popular demand. We had a lot of people join in for our raffle at the Angela Denise Foundation for the Women's 2025 Spa Day, where we are raising money to allow our women to be pampered, loved on, and just treated, with respect, and just let them feel honored, right? So that's what we are raising money for. And you can also find that at the AngelaDeniseFoundation.org. Yeah, so go ahead and purchase you some merch, purchase you a shirt, or, join the raffle. And like I said, we're going to have a lot of new items for sale. And also there are going to be items that we send out as thank yous for your participation in donations with the Angela Denise Foundation. Another thing we are doing, and it's done. It is done on Monday, you all. I will be announcing with the link the Know Before You Go nonprofit organization.
I got to get my roadcaster. I just found a new place for it right here. I need that. Because that right there deserved it too. Right. This is a big deal, y'all. For my new people, you may not know, but what she's announcing is a really big deal. So Shay, go ahead.
Yeah, so we are doing the Know Before You Go nonprofit. It is a course that educates individuals that are interested in that 501c3, wanting to become a nonprofit organization, have questions, or you have already delved into it some way as a nonprofit founder, or finding some hiccups and bumps and bruises on the way. This course is to educate you on the things you need to know, right? I entered into the space with very limited knowledge. Thank God for good people and being surrounded by people that love to educate and teach. So I was able to learn a lot and still learn a lot about the nonprofit space. And I'm just wanting to share that information with you all so that you have the appropriate tools, that you are fully equipped to enter into the space of filing your documents, really having that knowledge, that understanding of a nonprofit or a 501c3 to make a conscious decision on if this is what you want to do, or if it's not time yet, or I can start it and, propel myself in that direction in the upcoming years. But that's what the Know Before You Go nonprofit course is all about. There's some bonus material in there. I'm not going to spill it. I've been spilling it. So if you didn't catch what I spilled the last time, you're going to have to catch it when you get the course. To all of our ILF Mastery Blueprint members, our courses, whenever we do something new, we normally add you to them for free without any request of funds. But for this particular course, the Know Before You Go nonprofit, we are asking for a donation because this course is a course affiliated to and for the Angela Denise Foundation. So we'll be sending out an email marketing campaign, text message campaign to all of our IMB family that would like to gain access to that course. Okay. We're not asking much, just donate a donation. And and then you get access to the full course. And we've got some extra stuff coming too behind that course that I haven't even told Derek about. And I'm not going to tell him about it. I'm just going to do it and surprise him. And you all will be greatly surprised.
Well, the surprise is more for you all, actually, not for me.
You don't know what the surprise is that I'm doing. It's going to surprise you that I've done it.
It's going to benefit them, I'd assume, more than me, though, right?
It will benefit
I'm just being funny.
It's going to surprise you that I did it.
Okay.
Because
cool.
Remember, you've been pushing me to do this.
But remember, you told me the one surprise. So there's another one.
There's another one.
Okay, got it. Because I think they're going to love the one you did at the end. And trust me, you won't know it unless you get it. So guys, she's only asking, and I'm not sure if she's even said how much, but she's only asking for a small donation from the IMB members. And of course, outside people, she gonna have a regular price for that as well. Correct. But if you are an ILF Mastery Blueprint member, she's gonna make it such of a no-brainer that you'll be doing yourself a disservice if you don't get it. Correct. So listen to your big brother right now. I hardly ever give like just direct instruction, right? Unless you're under my coaching, right? But here's some right now. For the people that are under my coaching, this is also really for you too. I suggest you get this. So whatever her asking price is, get it. Because some of you all, and I want 5 of y'all to put it in the chat right now, actually. How many of you all have heard this long enough that you know right now that you want to be like Shay a little bit and you want a nonprofit program to do this? I'll admit that was not my desire. I was lucky I married a lady that wanted that.
Yeah.
My desire was not to run a nonprofit because of what I heard about it, what it costs, the board I got to build, the minutes I got to take, the meetings I got to have. Right. I can't spend the money I want to. I got to get permission. I don't want no nonprofit. Put in the chat right now, because watch this, guys. I'm smart enough today to know that it makes so much sense to have them both.
Yeah.
That's why Ronald's saying me. Put in the chat right now, though, if you desire to be nonprofit. And I'm going to just tell you right now.
Says yes, I say no, in other words.
If you're under our coaching, I'm telling you to get this. You need it. Whether you are a nonprofit now or you want to go later. And again, when Shay take it off of this special, the price going to be so crazily up there, you're going to be mad that you didn't get it. So please do not get this. Go ahead, Shay.
I may do something special. Like I may do some. Well, it's not like you're not privy to it. IMB family, ILF Mastery Blueprint family, you all get access to me anyway. So, this is a part of my offerings to you all. When that time comes and you are ready to venture into that nonprofit space, we are here to help you with some of that information, or if not, connect you to the right people to help you establish what needs to be established. I talk with my accountant on a number of occasions of how many people that venture into the nonprofit space and they spend a whole heap of money for somebody to set them up, and they're not set up appropriately. Or when they go to, they're filing taxes wrong. Like there was a nonprofit organization that I directed to my accountant, and whoever was filing their taxes was doing a horrible job. And in all actuality, she could have lost her 501c3 status. This individual could have completely ruined her 501c3 status. Her 990s weren't done for the every year for a total, I think it was like 3 or 4 years. And it really could have crippled her organization because of things that were not done appropriately. And there's a lot of people that consider themselves gurus in this space. And I tell people, be careful, be cautious. I'm going to share something, Derek, that I haven't shared, but I told Derek the other day, I got an email, right? There's a lot of fraud that happens to nonprofit organizations. And your girl is a part of, apparently I'm a defendant in a federal case. My organization on top of a plethora of other organizations, because we were taken advantage by someone that esteemed themselves as a grant writer, that was charging significant amount of funds, was not applying for any grants. And in all actuality, this young lady was robbing nonprofit organizations. So much so some people did get funding, but what they were doing, I guess, was leveraging the funds that people were paying for the services to write quote unquote grants for these other nonprofits. So long story short, I want to show you all how to avoid those mistakes, right? I am a named defendant. Your girl is a named defendant in this. I got the email and all from the state of Florida's federal department for me to log in and follow the case and follow what's happening and all of this stuff. So it is super important that as an entrepreneur, whether it's for profit or nonprofit, that you are surrounding yourselves with people that are continually getting educated and being educated, and you also being the one to be educated on what you're doing. Because if not, you can fall subject to a lot of mishandling by other people that see a way to get money quick and leave you in the balance. So be mindful of that. And Derek, because I told Derek, I was scrolling through my email on Monday night, and I was like,
as soon as she said the name, I was like, oh, I remember that.
I said, Derek, can you imagine? And the good thing is discernment, guys. Discernment. I cannot say it enough. I did have a meeting with this company. They offered me services, and the price, it made no sense. I knew enough because I had went through a 6-month grant, no, it was a 4-month grant writing class with my accountant, by an esteemed, highly esteemed grant writer. Big shout out to Ms. Witcher. She is amazing. She writes huge federal and local grants, millions and millions of dollars under her belt. And we did this course with her, and went and sat with these individuals right after I had did that course. And one of the things that she always said to us in this class, and she just taught myself and my accountant solo. We met with her, and it was just us two. And she says, you have to be reminded, if anybody tells you they can guarantee you grant funding, run. She said, because no grant is guaranteed.
Right, you can't guarantee.
She said, run. And that was one of my biggest takeaways from that. And when I met with this young lady or this company, the first thing she said, oh, we guarantee grants. And I just looked at her and I said,
how can you guarantee that?
That was my question. And she says, well, we've got funders and we've got people this is all they're looking for is to offload money. You sound fishy. And I'm so grateful that I did not move forward with their services, but ultimately, it still ended up landing me in the same place as a defendant for her trial. But again, just be mindful. And that's the whole reason behind this course. And I want people to not fall captive to the plagues and the plots and the schemes that are happening in today's society, where things are so easy to come by. And people are trying to make $1 out of 15 cents, however they can. So that's it. I'm off my soapbox, Derek.
Good stuff. So let's go back in the chat, and let's also probably got to take a commercial break here. So we hope that you guys are enjoying the content. If you are enjoying the content, let us know. We're going to take a quick commercial break, guys, and we're going to come right back.
Hey, what's going on, family? Have you ever imagined starting your own housing program? That's probably why you're here. And if you're looking for one-on-one coaching, like you're kind of getting right now, but in a more of a one-on-one setting, just you and I, that's our ILF Mastery Blueprint. There's a number that they're scrolling below on this screen right now. If you text the word scholarship to that phone number, my team is going to get you some information. So first of all, I'm going to say congratulations and thank you for moving at the speed of instruction. We look forward to working with you. And again, this is only for people that desire our one-on-one coaching, which is designed to watch you succeed from going from a zero to a hero when it comes to information and knowing how to implement this independent living facility model without any mistakes. That's most important. So again, our ILF Mastery Blueprint, guys, there's a scholarship that's available for it that'll slice the price in half, which is also a no-brainer. So again, if you've ever desired to start your own housing program, but you thought you needed a license, you don't. You thought you had to be a nurse, you don't. You thought you had to own the property, you don't. Consider our ILF Mastery Blueprint, where we are going to take you to success and let God use you in your community, housing the homeless and the displaced. Let's get back to the show.
Handle your business.
All right, we are back. And thank y'all again so much for being a part of the live podcast. Don't wait to be great. You guys have a lot of choices of where you could be, but you chose to be here, and we super appreciate that. Shay, there's a question in the chat that I want you to handle. Okay. We get this all the time, actually. People think because it's a nonprofit, you can't make money. So do you want to talk about that? And I'll put it on the screen for you as well.
Absolutely. So can we talk about nonprofit and what type of profit you can make? You can make as much profit as you want. It's just a matter of how you delegate the funds when you receive them, right? Nonprofits are not known for we're not in the business to make a profit, but it does happen. There are years that my nonprofit agency is profitable, but what I end up doing is I end up putting that money back into another program or running or operating something else outside of, let's say we do toiletry totes, we do compassion kits that are going into the schools. Toiletry totes go to other organizations that need toiletries. So like prime example, I'll be reaching out to my church on Sunday. I've got toiletry totes out the wazoo under my steps, and I need to get them handed out. We've already distributed to a lot of our local organizations that we partner with for toiletry totes. I have more. So now I'm going to go to my church and say, hey, do you guys come into connection with people that need toiletries? Here you go. Here's some toiletry totes that you can hand out. those are new programs that I add. So prime example, like now all of the funds that are coming in for the shirts, the merchandise, all of that stuff will go towards another said purpose or project. It's not for me to pad my pockets with unless I submit to the board, hey, I would like an increase in pay because I'm doing X, Y, and Z, or I'm going to do X, Y, and Z to further the mission of the nonprofit, right? You can take a paycheck from the nonprofit organization, but ultimately the goal with the profits that the nonprofit organization receives should be redistributed back out in good works. Okay, so that's the way a nonprofit works. A lot of people are like, oh, nonprofits shouldn't make money. Yes. Because it allows you, if a nonprofit is profitable, it allows you to now do other things. It now allows you to expand your scope, right? There's organizations right now, they're 501c3 organizations, and they're ready for this summer. It's summertime. They're making tens of thousands of dollars on top of it, hosting summer camps, right? Or hosting different types of camps for the summer, and that's government funds that's coming into them. Now, if they are operating as true nonprofits and they just didn't sign up for this to just get that money, because lo and behold, in the future, they're going to be looked at, right? These are federal dollars coming to their organizations. So they better have a proper discharge plan for those funds, or allocate them a particular way, or make sure that all of their ducks are in a row with payments and how everything needs to go out and blah, 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 blah. Because ultimately what's going to happen is if they get audited, not if, when they get audited, because it's federal, any type of federal or state funding, you can guarantee within a time frame you will end up with an audit at your door, right? Just making sure that you are reinstituting a percentage. If not, because by law, if it's a grant that you're receiving, you can only allocate 10% of that grant to administration. So that means administrative pay.
So y'all got Shay teaching on nonprofit now. Right? See how y'all get that going?
So you just got to be mindful of what you're doing and making sure that you are paying attention to the details of the monies that you are getting. If you are doing drives and fundraisers and getting donations and doing all of this stuff, you've got to make sure that people are receiving what they need on the back end, like the end of the year statements. How much did they donate? That stuff is regulated, okay, by the IRS, that we provide that, because when they go to do their taxes, and let's say somebody donated to your organization $50,000, make sure that they know what those funds went to. So on my end of the year statements, I let them know, thank you for your donation. It went towards our toiletry tote campaign, blah, 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 blah. Now, if there's a surplus in that, we use it for our ILFs, right? Which is one of the base programs under the nonprofit organization. So our independent living facility, we put that money back into that. Like right now I have a honey-do list, a laundry list for the ILF. I need screens repaired on the outside patio. We're looking for brand new. We want to replace all of the windows in this house. We did an amazing job on the rehab, but windows wasn't a part of that because they were sustainable. But now, we're seeing that there's some things that need to be done. So when I'm doing these campaigns, those are the things that's on my list of things to do for those extra funds or excess funds or profits that come into the independent under my 501c3. So I'm not pocketing that money. I'm reallocating it back into the organization or back into a program. So the misconception is that nonprofits cannot make a profit. Yes, we can. We're just not we're not in business to make a profit. We are in a structure that reallocates and redistributes our profits to do the greater good.
Sounds good. Bam. And just like that, boy. See how it is when y'all get Shay started on that? How many of y'all enjoyed that, right? How many of y'all maybe have gotten lost in that? Because I like a lot of times when I'm listening to stuff and I get a little lost, that means that there are things that I need to go and research, check out, and buy that course. because there is no thinking about it when you buy her course that she's teaching you this stuff. Now, I don't know if she's kind of merged a strategy call with it and all that the way I do. But again, I'm telling you guys, man, especially if you're under my coaching, I'm telling you to get it. If you're not under my coaching, I got to be a little nicer to y'all to say, I suggest that if you're thinking about going nonprofit, and watch this, I don't care what is in.
Yeah.
They's giving you information if you want a nonprofit ILF or if you want a nonprofit bakery. Doesn't make a difference. The same applies, right, Shay, if they want to be a nonprofit, right?
If it's a 50, okay,
so what you got to work?
So wait a minute. There are guidelines to what is considered or deemed a charitable organization. Okay. So it can't be a nonprofit bakery.
Right, okay.
But let's say this. A nonprofit can start a bakery. Listen to what I'm saying. A nonprofit organization can start a for-profit arm. Okay. So they can start a for-profit arm that can allocate funds and operate like an LLC or anything like that. But an LLC cannot branch into the nonprofit space.
Okay.
Okay. It can go nonprofit, can start a LLC or a for-profit entity and be good to go, but not vice versa.
Okay.
Right. So let's say you have a nonprofit and now you're like, you know what? We're selling a lot of baked goods and we're really cashing in on donations. Let's start a bakery and let people know that 40% of the things that we make at the bakery goes back into the nonprofit. Okay, let's do it.
Just like that t-shirt thing I be teaching all you one-on-one people. Now, regular YouTube folks won't know what I'm talking about, but all of you all that have your own t-shirt brand, that's that example that Shay just gave using a different product.
Yeah.
Right. So just remember the t-shirt that I told you guys that when you met me day one, I said, congratulations on your new apparel store. And you was like, huh? Me? And you didn't know that?
Let me see.
Exactly.
Let me tell you this. So Primex, I'm gonna give you a real life example. So the merch line for the Angela Denise Foundation. If I see it growing to a certain extent, which I'm praying that it does, as I need to do better with social media.
She's terrible,
I'm terrible, guys. I don't walk it like
the way I fuss at y'all about being on it. She's like that too.
I get fussed at. So
I have to take her phone and do stuff sometimes.
Yeah, because I honestly I get so busy in stuff, and I'm one of them overthinkers. So that's why I gotta shoot the footage and just give it to my virtual assistant because She's
got the team too, y'all. That's the other crazy part about it.
Yeah, he's gonna give me a verbal lashing on.
In fact, put your hand out because I want to spank you in front of everybody so that there is proof of how I issue punishment. Now, she should be doing social media, y'all. Now, one thing about Shay, she's blessed that this husband of hers 8 years ago started this thing, and I'm gonna make sure we on social media. Because my thought belief is if they don't see it, they can't come and buy it or render the services from it. Remember my saying, if you fry the best fried chicken but nobody know about it, that chicken just sits on the counter or you eat it all and you get fat. We cook that chicken to give away to other people. So guys, you gotta be on social media. She just blessed that she came into something that was already fully running. She built the arm to it. And again, blessed of her city leans on her for housing. Yeah. She kind of don't have to, but yes, she do. Because even on the part of the nonprofit, there could be more opportunities with the more eyes that are put on her. Correct. So that's why I tell you guys all the time, because guys, 90% of the opportunities, and I'll just use that word, 90% of the opportunities that come to us, y'all, is through God and social media.
Oh, 100%.
Somebody said, well, Derek, I saw you running your big mouth on social media. Can you come speak for us next Tuesday at 10?
You didn't see what Pastor Brown
all
said.
Of that happens simply because of our consistency in posting so much.
You didn't see Pastor Brown just talked about it. He wants to do a housing summit.
I highlighted that earlier. I did. I actually put it on the screen. Yep.
Yeah, we're down. We're speaking all over the place, and don't even just put it for housing. Let's talk to some other entrepreneurs in your area, right? Let's make it a summit about, being consistent in all aspects, because ultimately housing is one arm, but it's still business, right? And you still need to be consistent in the offerings that
absolutely. So what I want to do real quick is I want to break up a few things. We got some new folks here, right? So I just want to make sure I answer some questions. In fact, Shay, if you could do me a favor, they know what I look like now. Can we make us smaller and make the picture bigger?
So you made me
I'm okay with them not seeing me now. I want to show some stuff.
Can I tell y'all something? He done made me make this little fancy thing, and now
Yeah, she loved this kind of stuff, y'all. But when I want to show y'all something bigger, when I don't think I'm as important, I want y'all to see the stuff. So for the Jones family, you guys were asking this over on Facebook. What does that private room look like? Because every call you get is not going to come from some guy that want to share a room. Some guy going to tell you one day, Derek, I don't want to share no room, bro. I'm a grown man. But I look like sharing a room, Derek. Right. So this is that private model that Shay also does. Shay's got a lot of these rooms. In fact, Shay chimed back in and talk about who calls you for these rooms and what kind of women right now are you housing that want a room like this?
So I'm seeing more of the working individual that just fell on hard times. You know, the rise in the rental market has caused significant damage to them being able to sustain their own accommodations. So I am seeing more of those calls come in from my ILF. Yeah, and they're the ones that get the private or the private suite. So yeah. I've got private rooms, which is just the private bedroom, and they share all of the other accommodations like the restroom, of course. And then I have the private suite with the ensuite bathroom.
So when you say suite, Shay, that involves the bathroom.
Correct.
Do y'all understand that? So there's three models in this one model. Shay just told you two. Shay, tell them all three just to start from the beginning. So
let's start from the beginning. The private suite is going to be the private bedroom with an ensuite that has its own restroom. So a private room with its own restroom. Then you're going to have the private room, which is just a private bedroom. They still share the restroom.
Gotcha.
Then I have the shared accommodation, which is just a room. They share the room. And then I also
meaning
have
two beds are in that room because your other two models don't have two beds, right?
Correct. They do not. So 2 beds in one room. And then I'm gonna throw a monkey wrench, right? And then I have the shared suite. You ready for that one?
Okay.
The shared suite is normally going to be the master because it has the restroom. So 2 people with their own restroom. So I have a private suite, 1 person, their own restroom. I have a shared suite, 2 people, their own restroom. You got it?
Did y'all get it? Because I get it. I'm in the game. He's teaching, like she's teaching me. Did you guys catch that? Because if you're under my coaching, I just told you what she just said, something newer that we kind of start saying and calling it. One more time, Shay, because somebody gonna miss that.
Yeah,
what is that last one again?
You're gonna call it a shared suite. And because you're letting them know, hey, you know, you're not sharing the restroom accommodations with 3 other people.
It's only you and your homegirl.
4 other people, it's you and your roommate that get to share this restroom. So we're minimizing.
And that comes at a privilege.
Right.
That everybody else can use that bathroom.
Exactly.
Okay.
So yeah, so that's what that is.
And again, what you guys see right there in that screen right now, and 2 of y'all tell me in the chat if you can see these pictures. Y'all know I ain't super techie. I'm sure Shay got me, but 2 of y'all tell me that you can see these pictures. Because what you're looking at right there, I'm in Orlando, Florida. Those 2 beds right there are $800 a piece.
Yeah.
But on my flyer, Shay, it says starting at $740. But both of those beds and both of those pictures go for $800 a piece. Shay, tell me what you charge and why.
So I start at $640. That is more of the range I'm seeing with my female residents that they're able to sustain, especially if they're on a what would you call that? A limited income, whether it's Social Security or Social Security disability, that's actually more feasible for them. And it just helps them a lot financially.
Right.
You know, because I monitor the cost. I monitor, for me, I'm all about data. I always gather data. If I'm getting phone calls for women, I kind of average out. Jessa ask, and she'll, you know, keep count of what's going on, whether in our digital flow solution system when we get those calls. And then we just look at the average income, and that average income is it's comfortable for the ladies at that 640.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I want to show my new family again, right? This is your brother now, right? That's me. praying that God changed my life as a social worker. And if you don't have your glasses on today, I'll read it for you. Bachelor of Human Services from the University of Phoenix. Social worker discharge planner. That means that, again, that I tell you guys that I did this job, which literally showed me my whole vision of life for 9 years. And TikTok, when my phone died, we're done. So please come over to YouTube. TikTok, my phone's got about 13%. It's probably going to die. If you're not already with us, come over to YouTube at Forston Consultants. My last name, Forston Consultants. I'm a part, Shay and I both, of multiple advisory boards for mental health and social services.
Correct.
How did that happen? Just being in the game, networking, putting yourself out there. Some of y'all shaking y'all boots when I tell you to go and meet people and shake hands and kiss babies. That means tell people, what do you do? Again, if nobody knows about it, Shay, how can they do that? So again, it's just a picture of me. Y'all brand is, God changed my life. And then this is what I saw. The rats, the roaches, the filth, the grime. I saw people being mistreated through real estate, Shay.
Yeah.
And that's what started all this. Because what most of y'all don't know, Shay had a 9-to-5 job in the healthcare industry.
It was more than
in a hospital. Tell them what you did, Shay, for people that don't know.
It was more than 9 to 5. So I initially started off as a surgical tech first assist, got my bachelor's in healthcare management, and then got my master's in business administration and project management. Went from being the administrative assistant to the director of surgical services, to then taking on sterile processing, equipment distribution, and surgical supply as oversight.
Which means she didn't know nothing about no ILF, no real estate, no shared housing, none of that stuff.
Yeah, so I became
even though I'm the husband and we sleep together, we married, sleep in the same room, eat together, shop together, drive together.
I knew how to get you.
She didn't know it.
I know how to get you through joint commission surveys. I knew how to make sure that everybody was in compliance in regards to instrumentation going to and fro the operating room, and managing all of the equipment being distributed through the hospitals and the organization.
But Shay, tell them how I came home crying and complaining about these conditions that are on that screen and what you told me and how you jacked me up.
He talked about it for so long that we went on vacation. We went to Bermuda for 2 weeks. Derek was actually in a wedding. A friend of mine that dissed me for my husband. He was my friend, and then when I got married, I lost a friend and Derek gained one, which is the way it should go to our married folks. Okay, if you got male friends, they should become your husband's friend, and they should drop you like a hot sack of potatoes. Okay, but long story short, we were in Bermuda, and Derek was talking about it, and when we got home, he was still talking about it, and then a couple of months went by, and he's still talking about it. I said, okay, you know what? I am sick and tired of you. I don't even know what this is that you're talking about. I have no clue what you're saying.
So Shay, I seen it.
Okay, if you've seen it, what's your plan, Big Mouth? And I'm like, okay, Big Mouth, what's your plan? Like, write the vision, make it plain, right? Because you're doing a lot of talking here, and I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know how to help you in this. I know healthcare. I don't know mental health. I know how to shut down departments and organize things and direct things, and I don't know what you're asking me here. So let's sit down and let's process this.
I said, but Shay,
let's process.
But Shay,
that's right. Get a notebook.
She said, Derek, where your pencil and paper at? Go get one of them notebooks that you always writing in.
Where's the notebook?
Because bro, if we don't put pencil to paper, bro, you just talking. Yeah. So he that findeth a wife
findeth a good thing.
This is my good thing, y'all. So I give Shay a lot of credit. That's it. I give Shay a lot of credit for jacking me up and say, Derek, we got to do more than talk about it, bro. Like, if you just talk about this story, sounds great, bro. But if we do nothing and put our hands to the plow, Derek, this story is baloney. But now, 8 years later, this is the very story that we tell all over the world now. Yeah. But if I would have only kept telling Shay, Shay, there's a lady on the kitchen floor.
Okay, wait.
So there's a picture on the screen now. Tell them that I came home talking about that.
So not even talking about that. First and foremost, I came home one day.
Blew my mind.
Derek was at the kitchen table. He had a pencil. and a piece of paper, not a pen, a pencil. So pencils sound a little scratchy on paper when you're writing. So he was talking to this lady on the phone. So I come and my antennas are like, who the heck are you talking to? And she sounded really spicy. So I'm like, who are you talking to? And why are they talking to you like that? Like, you are my husband. I do not approve. I don't talk to you like that, so nobody else will. And I guess Derek was asking her questions and she was tap dancing around the answers. But Derek was writing on the piece of paper.
This is a true story, y'all.
And she said, I didn't tell you could write that.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
I said, oh.
God, she heard the pencil scratching the paper as I was writing. And she didn't even want me to write down what she was. And not that she was giving me the game.
She sure weren't.
It was just like little stuff. And she was like, what are you doing? Don't write that down. Don't write that down. Just listen to me. And Shay was livid.
I flipped my lid. I said, I don't know who you're talking to. But if they don't want a problem with me, you need to either A, hang up, or they need to change the tonality of their voice. And that was the response. And she was like, I just don't want you to write down this information. And I said, well, that's good and fine, but you will not.
That day, ladies and gentlemen, I said to myself, I said, wow, if she don't want to share this with me, boy, this must be powerful. And y'all, this was after she had already showed me something's dying. That's my iPhone. I ain't worried about that. I thought that was the computer.
I was like,
and I tell her this story all the time. She told me, she said, Derek, I'll never teach you how to do this, bro. You keep sending me these people.
In other words, shut up and just make my pockets fat.
And a day just like today, y'all, I took a Saturday and I went to all of her places because I knew the addresses. Remember, I was the dadgum social worker. So what y'all see on the screen right now is what I call the straw that broke the camel's back. When I saw a lady sleeping on the kitchen floor and she was paying $750. And y'all, she was proud to be there. Because the lady that was housing her that I'm telling y'all about, she says, Derek, they either sleep in these roaches and these mice, or they can go outside and be homeless. This lady was so appreciative, y'all, just to be on the kitchen floor. That's what really broke my heart. Not that she was on the floor, not that there were roaches running in and out of that cabinet, but she says, Derek, like, where else would I go? I'm glad to be here. Y'all, that broke my heart. I said, Shay, here I go again, y'all. Shay, and Shay, you won't believe. And Shay, look at these pictures, because y'all, I took pictures of a lot of stuff. And I said, Shay, can you believe this girl make 41 grand a month housing people in roaches?
And it's when Shay got tired.
And Shay.
If I heard Shay one more time, we were going to have an Shay problem. And I was like,
that's why we're here 8 years later, though.
Bro, let's figure this whole thing out, and you make the decision on what you want to do and how you plan on doing it. So that's literally how it all started. To where we've successfully operated over 15 ILFs. We've been able to see, oh my goodness, hundreds of ILFs across the nation get started and run, function and do well in their respective cities. We are now working on the ILF Association. We are now working on so many amazing things within the independent living facility space. And not only that, just being able to coach and teach other people how to do this and how to do this well is one of I think is the biggest blessing to me. It feels good to see people with a heart to do better than what you saw. And do it well, right? We've gotten to take over some ILFs or housing programs that were not doing so well and reform them, change them up to make them suitable for organizations to work with. And that was a blessing. Like, that was truly a blessing to see people, their eyes be opened and not realize that they were doing something wrong. They thought they were doing fine. I'm just providing a house. But you're providing a house, but you've got to make sure that people are able to live healthy, wise, well. You know what I'm saying? And if you choose to not take care of the property, then it's a disservice to you, what you're trying to do. So back to you, sir.
So one of the things I want to talk about, and this is one of the slides that I show at a lot of different places when I do speak. This is one of those things that when I kind of call myself, got over the humps of like discouragement and people saying that, Derek, this will never work, bro. You can't start no housing program with no license. So after all of this bad stuff and being told that it was impossible, I built this little small thing called action. So the A just means act. And that means just do something every day towards the goal of you starting your own independent living facility.
Yeah, that's good.
Now, if you ran into me, you said, well, Derek, man, I'm here and I like y'all, but bro, I don't want no housing program. Derek, I want to open up my first restaurant. Derek, I want to open up my first shoe store. Derek, I want to sell flowers and roses and daisies and lilies to people next to a hospital. No problem. You still need to act every day and do something that moves you closer towards your goal. Ronald and Kathy was a great example of that today.
Yeah.
And they've been doing a lot of stuff up until the point to where they got the house. Kathy didn't just wake up one day and somebody called about a house. Right. There was things she did every day, her and Ronald, because she said that in the chat. He says every day she did that. So it's not by chance or luck that she's getting keys to a house.
Right, yeah.
The C means continue. That means persist in spite of difficulty and what everybody else tell you that you can't do.
Yeah.
T stands for train. Never stop learning, y'all. Your first opportunity is right here every Monday, Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on our YouTube channel. Yeah. And every Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern. So congratulate yourself for all of y'all being here right now. And the I is probably my favorite. Most of y'all haven't done this yet, but you got to imagine yourself even being in this.
Yeah.
Meaning hold the thoughts of what it would be like one day to actually have your own ILF. Even Kathy and Ronald, even though they wanted this real bad, I guarantee you if I'd have just asked them 4 months ago, hey, where y'all see yourself at? What you think you'll be doing in 4 months?
Right. Yeah.
I like to think that they'd imagine this already. Especially once they bumped into us and start hearing my big mouth and Shay giving all of this game. Their imagination started to go, wow, I can imagine. Everything starts from you all's imagination. That's what God gonna start it from. He gonna give you the idea, which is in your imagination. The O, look for every opportunity, just like they did, to talk about this business, to advertise it. Go to these local meetups that Shay is always telling y'all about. And then the last one is kind of like the old, but you got to network, build relationships. Because if don't nobody know you, how do they know to send the people to you? So people call me crazy. They said it wouldn't work. Derek, how you going to start a program, bro, with no license? Derek, you don't know what you're doing. Well, that part was true, y'all. I didn't know. But I promised God, I said, God, if you let me get into this, and watch me be real honest. Who am I to say, God, if you let me? That sounds kind of cocky if you think about it, but I'm just so honest, y'all. I'm being honest. I say, God, if you let me get into this and it changed my life like that girl you showed me, God, I'll go all over the world sharing this and I'll never take any credit. So that blue house you see on that screen, y'all, I cried like a baby when we put the last piece of furniture in it.
You were there by yourself too.
Because myself, I couldn't believe, because I still had my job at the time. I didn't quit my job yet. And I said, God, I thank you, man, because I dreamed of this. And here you go giving me my own house. I went to work the next day and clocked in, y'all. Couldn't focus, couldn't think, couldn't pay attention at treatment team, because I'm thinking about how do I feel my place now? So again, at Forster Consultants, man, all we're about is enriching the lives of others through opportunity and knowledge. That's all we're doing right now. It's in 39 states. So the last time I made this slide, it was 37. So big shout out to those last two brand new places, which was New Hampshire and I forgot the other one. But anyway, we're in 39 states now. That means that what we do and what we offer is an extension of us in 39 states. And again, what do we offer? Housing, safety, stability, a shared living environment where adults can live and thrive without the need for staff and or medical oversight. So I'm going to give it back to Shay on this one. But to me, Shay, I don't know if you got your glasses or your contacts in today, and then you can see that screen. But these are the four things right here that makes this the cheat code to me. First of all, no license required. No medical oversight, no DCF, no ACA, whatever your entity is in your state. I'm in Florida, so it's called ACA. Agency for Healthcare Administration, I think.
Mhm.
No certifications required. And guys, you can lease or rent the property. Shay, did you buy your first property?
No.
Did you buy the second one?
No.
The third one?
No.
You must have bought the sixth one.
It was the 5th.
So 4 properties before jumping into buying one. So most y'all are gonna be just like us. You're gonna have to rent or lease into. Now, if you can buy a property, you skip right past this sermon, right? Because you don't have to ask for permission,
right?
But if you like me and Shay and you couldn't buy a property, we're gonna lease this place and take people from homeless to hopeful. Mm-hmm. And really quickly, Shay, just tell the people one more time, who can they serve?
Any and everybody, as long as they're an adult, right? You want to make sure that they're independent, they can eat, they can take their own medications, that they are able to get to their own appointments, whether there's doctor's appointments, go get the groceries. They can do everything for themselves, right? This can be the elderly adult. This can be veterans. This can be teenagers that are coming out of the foster care system, women that have gone through, human sex trafficking, sexual traumas. Listen, there's so many different avenues. You can even deal with the working individual, college students. You can deal with, the opportunities are endless.
It's
endless. They're endless.
18 and up is most important because Shay, they must be an adult. Is that correct?
Yes.
Can you read what Ronald just put on that screen?
That's what I was just looking down at. So
that need to be read out loud.
Let me grab it and nab it. Ronald says, I was diligent.
No, not that one. That's Kathy.
Hold on. Let me go back. That's Kathy.
Right up above that. Then show Kathy's, because that's important too.
You can't go where your mind hasn't gone first. And
slow it down, slow it. Shay, you read too fast sometimes on powerful stuff. Ronald, see how fast she read that, bro? Slow it down and let it breathe. Lord have mercy. Ronald, she gonna take all your sauce from your quote, bro, but I ain't gonna let her, Ronald. Because when I got a powerful quote, we gotta slow it down. Read that again, baby girl.
Let's go back. You can't go where your mind hasn't gone.
Lord have mercy.
First.
Ooh, I like that. That's a t-shirt.
You can't.
Now, I don't know Ronald got that on the t-shirt yet, but I'm gonna put that on the shirt, bro.
Let Ronald make his own shirt.
Lord have mercy.
You can't go where your mind hasn't gone.
How true is that? Wow.
Because you hear so many things. If you think it, you can be it. Or if you think it, you
that's
can
where it starts from.
So that's all mindset anyway.
I love that.
So if you think of it that way, it is imaginable.
Before me.
Huh?
Ronald said not before me. Exactly. So Ronald, I'm gonna leave that shirt to you. But I want to see that one, bro. Send me a picture, man. Like that is just so, like, I'm joking and being funny, but that is true. How can you go somewhere your mind ain't imagined yet?
Right. That's like saying
Lord have mercy.
You can't. You have to see. For some people that have never been on a nice vacation, you've got to imagine yourself on that chair, on that pink beach, that pink sand beach with the pina colada in your hand.
Can I be funny real quick? Shay gonna probably not like this, but she probably will. I don't know. And she looking funny already. Shay, before God really started blessing our lives, we didn't stay at what we would call such nice places when we went to hotels. The way our requirement is today.
They weren't terrible.
And it's gonna lean on what you just said, though. Shay, we imagined to go to the Ritz-Carlton. Oh, yeah. We imagined to go to the beach where they give you the towels and the chairs and the butler that brings you stuff. Shay, we imagined that.
We did, yeah. Yeah.
That's the only point I was making. I wasn't gonna embarrass us too bad, babe. I'm just saying, because I'm so honest. Today, Shay and our preference is 4-star or higher. We don't stay at nothing 3-star or under. Just can't do it. My sister taught me this. So, TT, if you listening, this came from my sister. Shay and I live in a pretty nice house, right? We don't live in squalor. We don't live bad. My sister taught me if you're going to go somewhere, you got to stay at least as nice as your house or better. Till I be that gummed if I stay anywhere out of town that's less than my house. That's the only reason why I brought that up, y'all. Shay said you gotta imagine it. Ronald said you gotta imagine it. Shay, well, you like me, you also imagine staying at better places when we were going out?
So can I
or you just okay with it because I was your husband?
No. Can I tell you something? So here's the thing. I've imagined it, but I've also hold on, because this goes to a good point. This takes us into the
Come on, Shay.
Party, right?
Come on, Shay.
I've not only just imagined it, I've experienced it outside of our our marriage.
Okay.
Right? Whether it was traveling with my family, so forth and so on.
Okay.
So again, even in that, hear what I say, I've experienced it. There's things that I've experienced because of the family background and family dynamic that I had financially.
Correct.
Right? Where I knew that was not so much so that wasn't your testimony at that time. Right? So how dare I, as his wife, when he puts in so much effort to say, I want to do this and I want to set this up, yada, yada, yada. And
I'm thinking about my sister and Tim's story right now, too.
Exactly what you're thinking about.
We got to bring them on just for this segment. Go ahead.
But ultimately not shooting him down, because I know, and we talked about this last week, I was always financially the one that had the income.
Yeah.
Right? From day one, even when in college, right? There were things that I did growing up. Like I graduated from high school at 16. I had a job, always worked, went to college in New York, went back home because of 9/11, then transitioned to Florida in 2005. And I've been in Orlando since. This guy. Met him in 2006. And it is what it is. But ultimately, there's could have done two things in so many aspects, right? I could have said, I'm not staying in no 3-star hotel.
Derek, you taking me to a Holiday Inn Express? Well, all we get is coffee in the morning. Like, bro, that's what we do. But can you compare that to the last place with like breakfast every morning that was made by a chef? Like,
can I tell you? Big shout! Wait,
don't go there because we'll get off. Stay on the topic.
A big shout out to the hotel, the Hyatt Centric in Las Olas. Big shout out to y'all, to the management team.
Oh God, the management
to
team,
all of the staff, to everybody. Thank you all for everything that you did. You know, there were a little bit of something.
They were a little late on check-in, but man, what they did was gave us $100 credit for anything we wanted, which we spent it on food, and they paid for our breakfast every day there. Not a buffet, but chef-inspired cooked breakfast that was brought to us every morning.
Yes, I thought them a big
so back to the point. So, we imagined that kind of stuff years ago,
right? And I had to help you imagine it. So, like, even when we would go back to Bermuda, I always made it to where we stayed at a nice resort, right? Bermuda's not known for having hotels, right? Everything is a resort to St. Regis.
Right. No outdoor motels where you walk in your room and you still outside. Like
that was a big no for me. Bye TikTok.
My sister said it in the chat. She said no kick door motels. How many of y'all know what we're talking about? Most of us, when we go to a hotel, you enter a building, you go in the elevator to your room.
Right.
If you drive to a hotel and your door is on the outside, that ain't where you need to be, probably.
Right. And she said Shay was used to the finer things in life. My parents made sure we always had those experiences. You know what I'm saying? Things were different for me. Remember, I was born in New York, raised all my life in Bermuda. So, you know, I'm half and half. I'm American Bermudian. And it's different, right? Bermudians make a lot more. It's more expensive over there, but everything is different financially. You know, so there were things that I had experiences to. Bermudians, if you look at your local economy, I'm sure Bermudians come to wherever you are just to shop, right? That is what Bermudians do. They don't shop in Bermuda. They buy outside of Bermuda.
It's crazy expensive.
So again, there was a lot of experiences that I had, but I said all of this to say this, right? That in situations in life, in circumstances in life, however the cards fall, for us, it was me knowing that everything I had already established that God had established in my life wasn't for me to brag. It wasn't for me to belittle Derek. It wasn't for me to throw at him and say, you know what? I can do this without you, or I can do this better without you. It was, hey, you know, you can do this, or do you know that we can do this, or we can go to this place if you do this? It was more to support and add the be of support, right? And show Derek the finer things in life. Yeah, Yeah.
Absolutely, because guys, I don't hide it. Like, I didn't grow up like that, but I don't want to paint this story that I was, oh my God, I was poor. No. That would be disrespectful to my family.
Right.
But I do make it clear that I never had enough, right? Robbing Peter to pay Paul and just never having quite enough, never getting ahead, paycheck to paycheck. Yeah. That was my life. But I never missed a meal. I never slept outside. Right. I don't know what eviction feels like.
Correct.
Now I want to be serious for 2 seconds because, we joke and have a great time here. But I don't know what eviction feels like. I don't know what it's like to go to bed hungry. I don't know what it was like to wear tore up tennis shoes. Not the best of clothing sometimes, name brand. Now, we did all of that. But did I have extra? Did we stay in nice hotels? Did we travel the world? I live in Orlando, Florida. When we went to Daytona Beach, that was a vacation for us.
Right. So where that was not my story.
And I lived in what's called Haines City, Florida. That's about an hour and a 30-minute drive for us every summer as a kid growing up. That was the best vacation ever.
Right.
So, and how we got here again, y'all, was just telling you guys, and it came from that quote that Ronald said, you can't go nowhere your mind hadn't already been. And that's why Steve Harvey's got this thing where he talk about your imagination is where it starts from.
Yeah.
And that's how we kind of got here, guys. So I used to imagine taking Shay to nice restaurants. Watch this, y'all. As a social worker, you can't name a nice 5-star restaurant in Orlando that I haven't been to. Because when I was a social worker, my job took us 2 and 3 days a week to Ruth Chris.
Okay, so explain
Del
why.
Frisco's.
So explain why. You work
I'm going to get to it, yeah.
Okay.
So because I work with one of the greatest doctors ever, and if you know anything about how hospitals work and medications and medicine, pharmaceutical reps will spoil you and your doctor and your team just so that you can prescribe their medications. One day on a separate Zoom or YouTube, I'll talk about that was also one of the reasons why I left that job.
That'd have to be Zoom, sir.
I saw a lot of stuff in pharmaceuticals. I said, you know what? I can't deal with this. I can't be behind this. I can't be a part of this. I got to leave this job. But anyway, back to that point. Those reps took us to basketball games, football games. I went to every fine restaurant in my city, y'all, and never could afford it.
Further than your city.
But they took us because it was free to us. When we would eat, guys, the bill would be $5 grand, $3 grand, $7 grand, $8 grand. We could drink what we want, eat what we want, unlimited menu. I never heard of a Ruth Chris until I had a job that took me. I never heard of Del Frisco's. I never heard of all of these nice steakhouses in your city. But now I've eaten all of them because my job took me. And this is no lie. I would come home and say, babe, I desire to take you to places like this, but I saw that menu and they got a steak for $130. I say, Shay, I never knew that you can get a steak and the size don't come with it. They got something called a la carte. Oh, what is that? Meaning your mashed potatoes don't come with the steak, Ronald. See, some of y'all gonna lie like you just was born into this stuff. I didn't know that, y'all. That lobster mac and cheese Teal, I thought when it came with my steak. I didn't know, Shay, the mac and cheese with the lobster in it was an extra $38.99. And they call it a la carte. Separate from my steak. That's somebody gonna pick on me, but I'm a little country boy from Haines City, Florida. I don't know nothing. But I did know, I said, boy, God, when you change my life, I'm going to, because guess what I used to do, y'all? Greedy Derek and the one that Shay was going to divorce because I ate her lamb. Guys, I used to eat half of my food and bring it home just so that she could experience it. Now, see, I want to be serious, not for just 2 seconds, because we can go back to laughing. I took pride in that because I couldn't afford to take her. She'll tell you right now, I used to bring the Ruth Chris bags home and keep them and take my lunch to work in them. See, y'all don't feel me. I say, Shay, I never bought you a Ruth Chris steak. Shay, I never bought you a steak from Morton's. These are all $100 steak places, y'all. Yeah. A la carte sides.
Tell them about the one
I couldn't afford it.
Tell them about the one place.
Y'all ever heard of that place in Tampa Right. Here's a quiz. Right now, if you live anywhere near Tampa, Florida, I dare you to tell me what's the most expensive, nicest restaurant right now in Tampa. Give me the name of it.
Ain't that more?
No, it's not Morton's. That's the insult. No.
Oh, what
And actually, I'll wait because I want to see who knows. In fact, I may not even say it. This place was so dadgum nice, y'all. I wore a short sleeve shirt and I was cold. I told my waiter, I said, wow, waiter, it's cold in here. That dude came back with a blazer that fitted me from Joseph A. Banks. Now, if you a guy and you don't buy suits, you may not know what Joseph A. Banks is. They only got every commercial on TV and they sell really nice men's suits. This guy brought me a blazer that fitted me and allowed me to wear it until I left the restaurant. And it smelled good like it was laundered already. The upstairs to this place has got its own, all they do upstairs is serve dessert.
Oh, dessert.
No food is served upstairs. Please tell me if you live in Tampa. It starts with the B, ends with the S. If nobody don't tell me in 2 minutes, I'm going to just say it. Because I dreamed to take her there. Guess who can go right now and it don't hurt my pocket and I'm not checking my balance of my card underneath the table? Shay, don't tell these people I used to check my balance under the table when I took you out, starting out. Come on, Kimberly. See, I like Kimberly. Kimberly own it. If you've never been to Burns, save your money. Because it's something that you're going to take your kids to. That's you and your wife, you and your boo thing, you and your business partner. You will not leave Burns with a bill less than $300 per person. Understand me? Very expensive. And guys, just back to this other thing, and I'm going to end it because I want to get back to joking and laughing. Guys, I wanted Shay to experience these places so bad, y'all brother would go there and eat this food and intentionally save half of it just to bring back to her. To taste a steak that I could never buy her. Taste a dessert that I could never buy her. Now, today, I give credit to God because I can go to any of those places and drop my card and we can eat good. And I'm not checking my balance underneath the table to see if I could afford it. Guys, I did that. And because she was so good to me, even at times when in our beginnings way back, when she had all the money, she said, hey, babe, we going to dinner tonight. Here's my card. You hold on to it. That's a great wife. She didn't try to embarrass me. She didn't try to belittle. Men, listen to this. It ain't a lot of y'all here, but listen, men. She didn't embarrass me. She didn't belittle me. She always built me up. She told me years ago, she said, Derek, my mama said this about you, but I believe it too. You going to be something one day. I don't know what it going to be. But Derek, you going to be something one day to where these days won't always be like this. And now if you know my story, I pulled Shay from corporate. Well, I love the word snatched. I snatched Shay from corporate America because I was getting so busy in a good way. I said, Shay, I need your help. God is going to blow us up. And this is where we are today. Yeah. Now we can start back laughing and joking, but I wanted somebody to hear how things were different until we got into this business, this ministry. That's when my whole life changed, and God allowed me to become the man in my household. Some men scared to say that, y'all. I'm not. I was born to be this. But between God and Shay, they molded me into that.
I want to share something about that, though, because even in that time of doing what I thought was just right? I used to get a lot of bonuses at work. I used to get all sorts of, things that were based upon my performance and different things that I was able to do. And I would always want to celebrate. And I didn't want that celebration to be one of, look what I did. It's look what we did. You allowing me to work 14, 16, 18 hours sometimes, right? You not getting angry at the fact that I was,
I was jealous a little bit, never angry, because she worked a lot of long hours. And at my little job, it was 8-9 hours. Yeah. Sometimes it went 10, but I often, more times than not, beat her home. Mm-hmm. And we would leave about the same time, but I'd be home chilling, relaxing. How you think I ate her lamb that day? I was home already. Now, if you new to me, you have no clue what I'm talking about.
Check last Saturday's room. You'll learn all about the lamb.
Just as a side note in a snippet, Shay was going to divorce me, y'all, because she came home hungry one day, and I had ate all her lamb, which is her favorite food.
Yeah.
So if you missed last week,
check
that out. Back on you, Shay.
But no, just being honest, and I just want to make a reference to this, and I think this is lost in today's society, and we're actually tipping into the after party, guys. So the ILF talk, this all surrounds the ILF, right? Because again, you can put fire on something. You can ignite a fire with fuel, or you can quench it with water, or
with discouragement.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shay could have discouraged me, y'all. I could have just gave up. Derek, you can't do this. Derek, you can't start no housing program. Derek, you never bought no real estate. She could have said all of these negative things, but she was a great wife and she just supported it.
Now I'll be honest and say, was I afraid? Absolutely.
Do it afraid.
But it was more so like, Shay, you know what? You still have a very good job. If something goes wrong, you've been able to sustain, and God has graced you long enough to kind of pivot financially when we needed to. So it was just to the point of that was the mindset I think I carried more so in that season was God to provide. And he's already given me the job, the income to do so. Yep. So why not? Like, what if Derek's bringing in $28,000 a year? You're bringing in 90 to 100 plus, and it grew from that 90 all the way up, right? To over that 100 plus. So what are we concerned about? If you need to cover the mortgage and everything else for X amount of time, will it really hurt you? Would it really hurt the team? No, it didn't hurt all this time. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So why put my money?
Let me say this too, Shay, because some people struggle with this, and I see this a lot on TikTok about the 50-50. Should we split bills and all of that? When Shay and I first met each other, up until God did this thing, we split everything. Let me say that again, because somebody's going to miss this. Yeah. So if you're struggling with this, and maybe God has put us here today to kind of to say it, I don't think there's nothing wrong with going 50-50. Now, watch this, though. A lot of times, she had to pull my slack because I was short sometimes.
Right.
But for the most part, I held my thing down, y'all, because I always had a job and a side hustle. I always had a little business, y'all, always. Y'all remember the story, right? Mm-hmm. From Shay, I always had a business. I slid Shay my card, double-sided cards. Y'all remember that?
Not 2 chains. This is 2 cards.
2 cards, 2 businesses on each side. But watch this, because somebody's struggling with this. So here I go. We split everything. There was no Shay. I got it all. Now today, I don't want her buying nothing. I got it. Yeah. We got it because our businesses take care of us. Today, I don't want her spending her own money on really nothing if I can do it. But when we first met, all the way up until God gave us this ministry and God blew our lives up, we split things 50-50. The light bill, the dinner date. Guys, I didn't have no bunch of no money. And we were okay with that. So watch this too. What works in my house may not work in your house. So don't you get yourself in trouble today now. Yeah. I'm just telling you what worked for me and Shay and how it also kept us together and grounded. There were tons of room to fight and disagree about stuff. But what I love, we both hate to fight. We both hate to argue. Mm-hmm. And we both like, hey, man, I did this and it's over. You forgive me? Yep. You forgive me? Yep. Move on.
Yeah. So
our makeup is kind of like that.
So even though we say we split things 50-50, there was still the joint pot, right? Nothing. We came into this thing with separate accounts, like not being funny. Some decisions were made earlier on in the marriage just to keep it that way for the time being. Because for most of you, the whole thing within our first year of marriage, we were together in one house for maybe 5 months. Mm-hmm. And then I had to leave abruptly to care for my mom for about another 4 months before she passed away. So, had it been, there was just some nuances that didn't allow us to merge things together when we first got married. Like, I didn't change my last name until after my mom died, until after all of that took place. And I was able to get back to Orlando and just really now focus on marriage. So it's not that we started out saying, hey, we're going to split everything.
Yeah, just kind of like that. Yeah.
It fell that way because of the circumstances that
and we were still that couple that said, babe, what's mine is mine and what's yours. Because if you short, I got you. If I'm short, you got me. So it wasn't like that. Right. Yeah.
We were never what's mine is mine and what's yours is yours. It's ours. Right. And Derek had a debit card to my account, same way. But think about what we're saying. There was never overflow in his account. Yeah. So there was no need for me to have a card to his account.
Yeah, I didn't have no overflow.
Right. So the overflow always came out of the account that, that had my name on it, but he had access to. But ultimately, like I said, we're having this conversation because we want people to realize that whatever you choose to do in your household is what you choose to do. But ultimately, we want to make sure that anybody that we're attached to or connected with is truly doing things with dignity, with decency and in order, right? I never made no big purchases, even though I had that personal account. I would never make a $5,000 purchase without consulting Derek. Yep. I never walked around peacocking the fact that, I got, X amount of thousands of dollars.
She also respected me enough to not make, and she's just said it, but I'll reiterate that so that you guys catch it. Some people will say, well, this is my money and I make more and I buy what I want to buy. Shay was such a great wife. She didn't do that. She still treated me like I was the head the way it's supposed to be. Yeah. Regardless who's making the most, she still confided and consulted with me before any purchase. So can y'all see how I got real lucky and blessed in life to have a wife like this that would later help mold me into the thing that now she never has to work or go make some money, because that's me now. I'm the guy. And do I feel proud of that. So the download is God, me, boom, Shay. So today I'm proud to say, Shay, don't go get no job. Even though if you called us 2 weeks ago, I told y'all we went through 18 months of our life outside of January of this year. That was like, oh my God, Shay, do we both need jobs? What the world we look like getting jobs when we own 8 businesses? But guys, we asked ourselves that because we're like, God, what are you doing in this season?
Us? Like, where do you need us?
But now, just like I told you guys, if we don't hide it, God blessing us so good now, we can hardly stand it, right? But you're going to go through seasons at times. And guys, remember, we wasn't born rich. Our backgrounds were different. We were so honest. We just tell you guys, Shay made way more money than me, but that never belittled me. And she kept me as the head of the household, which I think God also honored, so that when we got into business, God went, he blew on it and said, Derek and Shay, it's y'all chance now because y'all stood the test of time and y'all passed that test.
I think it's all about, it's like you said, it's the test. Sometimes God will allow you to go through seasons to see how you manage them. And that will open the door for opportunity in other areas. So be mindful of, as a wife, be mindful of how you approach things in your marriage. Be mindful of how you handle your husband, no matter what situations he may be in. I have a great friend that I've been, tarrying with for years about her marriage. And it's taken years, but guess what? She's at that place where she's seeing everything that she poured in prayer, that we poured in prayer. Yep. It was one day that she was ready to throw in the towel, and I said, not today, not on my watch. So be mindful around who you surround yourself with. What does your circle of friends look like? If they're gonna pour gasoline and cause you to blow up the house and not really help you contain the fire. Yes, you want to have fire, but you want to make sure that it's contained, right? Until God breathes that all-consuming fire upon whatever it is that he's doing. But ultimately, I just want anybody, and this is not just in your marriages, but in your business relationships too, right? Because you may go into business with somebody that you deem a friend or a confidant, and you can't agree. Make sure that you all are paying attention to what's the goal. What is your goal? What is this thing firmly standing upon? What is the decision behind going into business together? What is the decision for everything that you are doing? If it's only the financial gain of things and it's not to help others, if it's not to, do good, then rethink it. But again, when it comes to the marriage aspect of stuff, wives, be mindful, because we have the power in our, like we all have the tongue is a powerful tool, but with women, we can be very damaging with our tongue. And if you damage a man's pride and ego so much so, you do not get the man that God ordained him to be in the first place. And that's something that you're going to have to give account to on that day.
Yeah.
Right? We're positioned as helpmeets for a reason. And the reason why, I don't have it all together. I'm telling you, I don't. There are a lot of things that I do that irks Derek's nerves. I have this habit of snatching. And I'm laughing because
we're trying to break this habit over like the last 2 years, y'all. And watch this.
And
she don't mean nothing by it. When most people snatch, it's because they got an attitude. She just snatches just without even like subconsciously to it. I don't know
why.
And me like, Shay, why are you snatching it from me? But she's not even thinking of it like that.
It's because I'm in a hurry to do
and we get on each other's nerves. Don't get it twisted, guys. We are not like Ken and Barbie. No. We are not like the Brady Bunch. She get on my nerves, and I'm sure I get on hers. In fact, I'm positive I get on hers, probably more.
So listen, I'm gonna tell the story. You don't even know this. Before we went live, I was downstairs doing something, and I automatically knew that Derek either touched this particular thing, because as soon as I opened it, all of the contents went everywhere. And I was like, this is nobody but Derek. And I'm like, why? Why can't you just put the top on properly? Like, why? But then guess what I do? I'm the person that puts tops on too tight and nobody can open them. So
babe, can you come and open this thing? Shit, if you don't put it on so dadgum tight, it'll be easy. Like, guys, trust me, we are a trip together.
Right.
But we know that we're in purpose and we know that we're one. But yes, I get on her nerves, she get on mine. But when we got that one common goal, and for us, it's housing, doing God's will, and helping a bunch of people along the way. We both got that. Like, and nothing shakes that from our foundation.
So I just want to be super, like, I just want you all to hear my heart on this, because it's not that I grew up seeing the perfect marriage, right? I don't know. I didn't get to see Derek's parents in their marriage,
right?
But mine, Derek got to see it, and it was interesting, okay? And it was certain things that I said, Lord, I don't want that in my marriage. I want better, and that was something my mom always, even in her last days, she just told me to honor my marriage. And
she said, "You be nice to Derek now."
She did. My mom was
she always told Shay to be nice to me. Her mom loved me, and I loved her.
Even when we weren't, but anyway,
they wanted your mom to me.
As women, I just want us to be mindful that there's so many things that we have the opportunities to say and speak with our mouths that can damage a man from being who God created him. And I think that was one of the things that I've taken very seriously in our relationship. It's times that Derek will tell you, there's a park not too far from my house. When I want to spew some words, I go to the park and talk to the
ducks and those peacocks.
Because I know for a fact, like, a lot of people don't realize that they have triggers, right? And the last 18 months showed me a lot of my triggers, but I had two ways to deal with it. Mm-hmm. Either let those triggers be triggered, or go sit in the presence of God and say, all right, this thing is doing this. And I know this thing triggers me to become this angry, ready to throw stuff, punch holes in walls type of stuff. Where do I go with this? And God says, meet me here. Meet me at this place. And I use that meeting place to help me to, one, calm my own agitations and really learn and hear from God. How do I navigate the things that can be triggers? Because ultimately I could have blamed Derek.
Hey, what's going on, family? Are you?
Oops.
He trying to shut me down, y'all.
That was by mistake. Go ahead. You could have blamed me for a lot of things. Keep going. You could blame me for a lot of things. Sorry.
you know, there's a lot of things in anybody's relationship that you can blame people for. I could have blamed Derek. Well, you pulled me from from corporate America where I was making great money. I had opportunities. You did this. There was a lot of things that I could have blamed, but instead it was like, no, why would you blame when ultimately you know you heard from God and he told you to go? Right. So you can't blame nobody when you know you heard from God. So now it's obviously a moment that we've got to walk through in order to see God in it on the other side.
Unless you're saying you don't trust God.
Right. Exactly.
Ooh, can't be saying that.
Exactly.
Right?
So I just want to encourage couples, right? Couples, no matter what situation you're facing in your marriage, no matter what triggers that person or buttons that person may be pressing or pushing, ultimately, when a trigger or a button is pressed within you, that's a spotlight for you to seek God about that place or that posture that needs to be dealt with on an internal, from a introspective posture, more introspective than outward, because that's something that's triggering you. Why? Get to the why and how you can overcome that thing and be a better you to help support the person that God has placed in your life to do life with, and to help build something that God is calling you to build. So I'm done.
And with that being said, guys, let's take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back.
Hey, what's going on, family? Have you ever imagined starting your own housing program? That's probably why you're here. And if you're looking for one-on-one coaching, like you're kind of getting right now, but in a more of a one-on-one setting, just you and I, that's our ILF Mastery Blueprint. There's a number that they're scrolling below on this screen right now. If you text the word scholarship to that phone number, my team is going to get you some information. So first of all, I'm going to say congratulations and thank you for moving at the speed of instruction. We look forward to working with you. And again, this is only for people that desire our one-on-one coaching, which is designed to watch you succeed from going from a zero to a hero when it comes to information and knowing how to implement this independent living facility model without any mistakes. That's most important. So again, our ILF Mastery Blueprint, guys, there's a scholarship that's available for it that'll slice the price in half, which is also a no-brainer. So again, if you've ever desired to start your own housing program, but you thought you needed a license, you don't. You thought you had to be a nurse, you don't. You thought you had to own the property, you don't. Consider our ILF Mastery Blueprint, where we are going to take you to success and let God use you in your community, housing the homeless and the displaced. Let's get back to the show.
Welcome back. Welcome back. We are back. And again, thank y'all so much. And as we begin to close down a little bit, I want to talk about this slide, right? Let me bring it up because that's not it. Let me see. I think it's this one. So we often get this question about, well, Derek, who is this for? And but here lately, I love this. Derek, who is this not for? Right. So obviously today we talked about a lot, but if you just joined us, we're talking about independent living facilities. So again, who is this not for? Who may not be a good fit to run an independent living facility? So somebody that thinks that this is a get rich quick scheme. If you want to get into this and be a millionaire by tomorrow or quit your job in 3 weeks, this is not for you. Yeah. Just like most of y'all been in your job 5, 10, and 15 years, we're also going to give this thing that God put in your heart enough time to develop. So the people that this don't work for is people that don't understand business, people that want to get rich quick scheme, and then people that when things don't kind of go your way right away, you quit.
Right.
So I'm hoping that I'm preaching to the people behind you right now, and this is not you. But if you fit this first slide, this is probably not for you. People that also that can't find the time to work on this business. The devil is a liar. Yeah. If God told you to get in it, Shay, what do you mean you don't have time? So for me, if you're claiming you don't have time, because Kathy and Ronald, Katara Johnson, all these people that I keep just like calling out, they got families, they got jobs, they got kids, they got responsibilities and bills just like all of us.
Right.
But your desire, boy, that's the one thing that I can't say that all of y'all got the same measure of. Mm-hmm. Everybody's got a different measure of desire. So if you think you don't have the time to do this, this probably ain't going to be good for you. And I said it already, but people that quit easily, anything in your life that you can think of that you started and you just give up on, don't raise your hand, don't type it in the chat. just investigate yourself right now.
Right.
Investigate your own heart. Are you somebody that gives up easily? Because if you do, let's call it today is the last day of that. And from here on out, you will never quit again. People that lack patience with people and or business, this also ain't going to work for you. And ain't is a bad word. That's not proper English, but this ain't going to work for you. No patience with people, no patience with the timing of this thing working. I can guarantee you fail. Because in this model of housing, y'all, we're serving people that are already on the fringes of life.
Yeah.
These people are already going through stuff, mental health, physical health, being evicted, kicked out, being mistreated, drug addicted was their past. So again, if you lack patience, this is probably not going to be good for you. And I've said this already, but again, if you lack patience in business or with people, let's find something else for you to do. Shay and I are business coaches, and we can coach you in a lot of different industries. We just specialize in this co-living, shared living, and independent living facilities. But Shay and I know business, period. And this is my favorite one to talk about right here. Who is this not good for? Shay, if these people are a natural skeptic, not good for them.
Yeah.
If you're somebody not easily convinced and you have doubts or reservations about everyday stuff that everybody's doing, you ain't going to be good because you're going to have 1,000 questions and you're going to talk yourself out of this.
Absolutely.
Watch this, y'all. This, what we're talking about, is not theory. We do this. It'll be one thing if you say, well, there, man, we trying to do this. My coaching and Shay's coaching is in 39 states, which means other people do it. So no excuse for you. I don't care where you live at, what city you live in, an independent living facility can be done in your city.
100%.
If you're a person that doubts or questions accepted opinions, meaning that this is the thing that we do, is done all over the world, not a concept. But if you still like, man, Derek, I don't know, bro. I don't know if this will work in my city. I'm going to tell you, bro, don't waste your time or mine. Don't get my coaching. Because if you're a skeptic, this ain't going to work. And my last but not least, and probably my favorite, someone who doesn't easily believe things without proof and often needs strong evidence before accepting something as true. I was used in my church last week, y'all, for an illustrated sermon. And we were talking about when there was holes put into Jesus's hands when he was crucified. Yeah. Some of those people didn't believe it until they were actually able to see it and put their hand in the hole. And I'll admit again, if you one of them, if you were Down Thomas, this ain't going to work for you because no matter what I tell you, it ain't going to work. So again, trust the fact that there's other people already doing this, hundreds of people under our coaching, and in 39 states of where we existed. And like she just said, some of y'all do this right now just by listening to the YouTube channel. Yeah. Congratulations to you. I'm not mad about that. In fact, I put a whole sermon out 2 years ago congratulating the people that find me on YouTube. Don't buy my coaching, but get started. Congratulations. Because what you just told me essentially is that you don't need me because we give so much information on this YouTube channel, you can still move at the speed of instruction. Yep. So again, if you're a natural skeptic, guys, this ain't going to work. And this is my second favorite. People who are not willing to lift. Now, if you're new to me, you don't even know what lift means. But if you're older to me, put in the chat and share with the other people. What does lift mean? LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Yeah. Meaning that if you are not willing to advertise this business, remember my example, if you fry the best fried chicken in your city, but nobody know about it, your chicken just sit on that counter and you don't sell it to nobody. And then if you real unsmart, you eat that chicken and you get fat and unhealthy. We want you to advertise, and we call it lift. L-I-F-T. LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. You must be on all four of those at minimum. And we just talked about that, right? Boom. LinkedIn, take a picture of that so that you don't forget it. And then last but not least, we believe in this. Visibility is credibility. Lift your brand today. Most people find me and us, all 8 businesses that we have on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and a little bit of LinkedIn.
Yeah.
But if they don't see us, Shay, if we're not visible, how can they think and know that we're credible as well?
Yeah.
Most of y'all that are here right now, and please 5 of y'all put in the chat, most of y'all found me running my big mouth on YouTube. Call me a liar. Either YouTube, Instagram, or Facebook. Put in the chat right now, 10 of y'all. How did y'all find me? I guarantee you it was one of these social media settings.
Yeah.
Instagram, Clubhouse, Chatter, X, Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest. A lady found me last night on Pinterest. Nobody goes to Pinterest and finds me. But what if I put it there? That one lady now counts and she want the coaching. So Shay, I'm done. Let's get ready to close these people out because I just wanted to show them again, Shay, who is this not for? In ILF, who should not run this? A person that's a skeptic, a person that quits easily, a person that don't believe in God and keep God first. Now watch this. There's a ton of people that are in business that don't believe in God and do well. We believe that if God is in it, you're going to do well and it's sustainable.
Yeah.
Because the tithe and offering, which what we super believe in, is what sustains us. So if I make $5,000 from one house, $500 is going in that offering bucket to my church or my place of worship. Because that's me giving back to God the 10%. Because remember, all of it belonged to God anyway, 100%. But he is so good, Miss Stacy. He says, Derek, you know what? Just give me 10% and I'm going to let you give me, and you keep the 90, Derek, and change the world with that 90, bro. And Derek, if you keep giving that 10 to me, I'm going to sustain everything you put your hand on. And that's why I think that we're so successful in our business, in our entrepreneurship, Second Chance Housing, the Angela Denise Foundation, and all the other businesses that we own.
That come along with it.
Not because I'm so great. Not because Shay is so dynamite. It's the goodness of God and God's mercy on our life and our business.
Yeah.
My name is Derek Forster. I approve this entire message. I pray God's speed over your life, your health, and your mind, that you have the mind of Christ and that you're able to move forward with what God has put in your heart already. Absolutely. So if you want to be coached by us, I hope today solidified that. If not, show up again Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern, Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern, and Saturdays at 10 a.m. Eastern. And I tell people this, give me 6 months of your life in between God and my family and Shay, we're going to change your life.
Absolutely.
You get in with the one-on-one coaching, that's $5,000. The DIY version of that is $500. And then the free coaching 3 days a week. And then right now, just for the next 3 hours, I'll give a $1,000 scholarship towards the ILF Mastery Blueprint right now for 3 hours. So if you go to our website, and you impressed by this coaching today that was for free, you said, man, I got to get that one-on-one. I'll give you $1,000 towards the cost of it right now. And you can use financing, which we have at checkout. If you enter the word now, N-O-W, Shay, put it in the chat for me, N-O-W, at checkout in that coupon code box, immediately $1,000 gets dropped off of that price. So I just told you $5,000, it's now $1,000 lower than that by texting the word now in the coupon code box. Again, my name is Derek Forster. I approve this entire message, and I pray that we're exactly what you've been praying for, because God himself won't come down from heaven to hold your hand, but he put people in place like me. God partners through people. He's never going to drop money in your lap. He ain't going to never come down and hold your hand. He going to send a person to make his will come true. I pray today that I'm that guy. Shay and I, we're the couple to guide you all so that you can be like Rondo and Kathy and 100 other people that I'm coaching that have a success story that's the same.
Yeah.
You're no different. You're just next. So put in the chat, I'm next. Speak in faith, I'm next, Derek. And again, one-on-one coaching, $5,000, DIY, $500, 3 days a week, free coaching. Get in where you fit in. And today, for the next 3 hours, Shay, and cut it off, they can text the word now, N-O-W, and put it in that coupon code box at checkout. When you're buying the ILF Master Blueprint, you receive $1,000 off just like that. Shay, I'm done, and it's on you.
All right, family. It has been a lovely 2 hours and 13 minutes and 35 seconds that we have
Last
hung
week
out
was
with
longer, I
y'all.
think.
Yeah, but we're trying to consolidate our lives so that we're to the point getting you in and out of here on your amazing Sunday. But again, thank you for spending this Saturday, not Sunday, on this amazing Saturday. Thank you for spending the time with us. Thank you for sharing this time with us, allowing us to pour into you. I pray that something we said today really ignites a fire in your life, in your business, in your marriage, in your relationships, and that you take this information and run with it. Again, it's always a privilege and an honor. And if you are interested in the Know Before You Go nonprofit course, come back here on Monday. Everything will be set. I will have codes dropped in the chat, and we will be sending you all of the information where you can purchase or donate. If you are ILF Mastery Blueprint member, it is a donation for you. For those that are interested in purchasing it, it will be $297 for the first
Cheat code.
3 months of sale. That is called our seed price. Once that 3 months is out, the price will go up.
Get the
I don't
seed.
know
Don't buy the tree.
number yet.
Buy the seed.
My accountant has not given me the numbers yet, but just know that price will differ in 3 months. And then again, if you are interested, IMB will get their link to donate, the donation link, and we'll go from there. For those of you that are interested in purchasing a raffle or getting your Walk by Faith apparel, go to the Angela Denise Foundation.org, and you can purchase some merch on that site. You can also get your raffle to help fund the 2025 Ladies Spa Day.
Yeah.
Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this information. I look forward to seeing you all on Monday and delivering all of the goodies for the Know Before You Go course at underneath Forston Consultants, but distributed and done by the Angela Denise Foundation, to get you on your journey to being a nonprofit founder.
And literally what you guys see on the screen is what Shay was talking about. So this is what she's raising that money for. So a lot of the women that Shay served have never had a pedicure, never had a manicure, never had their hair blow dried and washed by a professional. So we'd like to offer that stuff. And this is a part of what Shay does. Correct. This is what I teach you guys. Don't try to do this in the beginning. We want you to master housing first. But once God has put it on your heart to do something like this, let us guide you through it. How would you do this? But again, this is how Shay shows the love of God without beating somebody over the head with the Bible. Make sense, everybody? This is how we show the love of God through our works and the good deeds that we do. So some of y'all women get y'all nails and toes done every week, every 2 weeks. Some of y'all headed there right now. How great would it be that you could offer this to other people that has never had a chance to experience this? This is why you all need to donate to the Angela Denise Foundation to get that nonprofit course. Not only will you get something to change your life in terms of information, but you're giving towards a great deed, and God is also going to honor that. Because we're going to pray that anybody that gives, that God super exceeds and abundantly blesses you because of the work that's going to be done on the other side of what you gave towards. So a lot of great women will be able to experience literally what a lot of y'all get all the time, right? So other than that, man, we appreciate you all. I'm going to just play one more commercial and we're going to get you guys out here. We're going to pray you out of here, and you guys are going to have a great day. And then we'll see you guys back on Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern. We'll be right back.
We figured out your problem. You have a great business or a great business idea. You just don't have a website. So visit digitalflowsolutions.net and get the best website in the world for only $97. And then you just pick your monthly plan. Let's get back to the content.
All right, we are back. And as I promised, I'm going to pray you guys out here. But David and Dennis also wanted to say something to you guys real quick. We'll be right back. Here's my twin brother, y'all.
Hey, David, did you know that you can start your own housing program and it doesn't require you for you to own the property and you do not need a license? So how in the world would you do that? I was always told that you had to own the property and that there was always some kind of special license that you had to get from your city to do this. People always told me that there was lots of red tape to jump through. So you mean to tell me these are also not group homes? It's actually simple. They're called independent living facilities, and Forster Consultants actually created it. They hold the trademark for it. So I follow them religiously on Instagram at Forster Consultants as well as Facebook. And every Monday night at 6 p.m., they actually go live on YouTube at Forster Consultants, and I follow them there as well. So you mean to tell me my dream of becoming this housing provider that I've always dreamt of is closer than I realize? And again, you're telling me I don't need a license and I don't have to own the property. Absolutely. You do not have to own the property. You don't have to be a nurse. You don't have to be a CNA. And you can get started as soon as tomorrow. Click the link below for more information.
All right, we are back and we are going. So Shay, drop that thing down right there. How many of y'all enjoyed this today? Are you guys enjoying our new studio in terms of what it looks like? So if you're newer to us, you don't know this, but I'm usually behind the computer screen, right?
No more.
I had a vision for a studio for a long time and gave the vision to this one. See, I'm smart, y'all. Shay, I want a studio. A couple days later, she comes back with all these Pinterest pictures of, babe, which one you want? I want this, I want this, I want this. She came back and said, Derek, what about this? Boom. She went to Amazon. In a couple days, things were being delivered, and bam, just like that, we have a studio now. So let us know in the chat, how do you guys enjoy this new studio? Enjoy the look, but also the information. That's most important to us. And as I get ready to pray you guys out of here, man, again, man, remember, keep God first. Put us right behind that, though, because if God's first and this is what you want to do, merge us together. Remember, we work with God. He's one of our providers.
He is.
And in fact, me and God had a conversation yesterday, y'all, that brought me to tears. And I did all the talking. Make sense? God and I had a conversation yesterday, and I did all the talking. And as I was speaking, Shay, you was nowhere around me. And as I was speaking, y'all, I got so emotional. That let me know he was right there too, listening and responding to me. And the way he answers me is in my spirit. In this big old head of mine, he'll start giving me dreams, visions, and even sometimes it's audio of just things that I'm hearing in my head of what to do and what is my next step. So one of my most viral videos this week is talking about your first step is tell God you want to do this. Yes, he know about it and he know everything and see everything, but pretend for 2 seconds that God don't know that you want to do this. And you watch these words very carefully. It's all about wording. God, I want to partner with you. I want to go into covenant with you to do this housing thing, because I saw that live, my boy Derek and his wife, and God, they're really moving and shaking in their city. And God, if they're to be my coaches, God, make the way easy. Because God, you have no favoritism over people. You will bless me more than you bless Derek, because you good like that. So God, I want to do this, because in your Bible and your word, you said the poor and needy will always be among me. And God, you also said that I do unto the least of thee, the marginalized, the displaced, the poor, the needy, the widow. God, you said it's like doing a favor unto you.
Yeah.
So God, I want to get into it. Now, if you go to church, go to your place of worship tomorrow and tell them again in the building. Now, if you don't go to church and you go to Bedside Baptist, meaning you go from your bed, we call that Bedside Baptist. Guys, the way I view myself, I'm such a knucklehead in life. I'm trying to be in the building every Sunday that is open. Now, I'll admit, I struggle sometimes on that midweek service, but there ain't a Sunday go by that I'm not in that building. So can 5 of y'all promise me right now that you're going to at least tell God or pretend he don't know? Say, God, I want to get into that. That's helping people. It's ministry. And Darius said I can make enough money to feed my family. God, there is nothing wrong with that, because if it is, please show me. God, show me my purpose. Because if it ain't quite ironed out yet, God, I can't lose by doing your will. Some of y'all don't know your purpose. No problem. Why not start this first? Because it's still in his will. You're helping people, right? You're providing shelter, which is biblical. And again, you're helping people, showing the love of God while you're doing it. So step 1, tell God. Step 2, watch my thing on YouTube where I give you the rest of the instructions. I'm gone.
I want to add something.
Oh, I was going to pray.
I know, but really, this dropped in my spirit. So tomorrow is Pentecost Sunday. If you are someone that goes to church, go with expectation. Everybody's
Yes.
crying out for revival, revival, revival,
And
but revival
change.
starts within, right? And if we keep going into the sanctuary doors without expectation, without that expectation, knowing that God can do exceedingly abundantly above, far above and beyond what we can ever ask, think, or imagine, you're limiting yourself. So there's always got to be an expectation, an expectancy
Go
of
expecting. I like
God.
that,
So
Shay.
when you go into the house of the Lord, go expecting, right? Because when everybody, when a bunch of believers come together under one accord, coming in with that same expectation, that expectancy of God to move, guess what? He shows up. So make sure that whatever you are asking God for, whatever you are believing God for, go always do it expecting, knowing that he is God and God alone, that he is not man that he could lie, or son of man that he has to repent. Go knowing that God can do exceedingly abundantly, far above and beyond whatever you can ever think and imagine. So start thinking bigger, right? Don't think big, think bigger, because it's still not outside of his scope to return it. And then again, go with expectation. The same God that rained down his presence upon every person that was meeting in the upper room is the same God that can meet you tomorrow when you gather with like-minded individuals that are expecting a move of God in that same upper room experience. So just know that God is the same yesterday, today, and forevermore, and that he will and is a man of his word. So I just wanted to share that before you close.
That's good shit. I'm gonna just reiterate that tomorrow is a special day on God's calendar.
Read the
Come
book
with
of
expectancy.
Acts 2.
Expect this thing you want. And I'll admit, most of y'all want this. You want your housing program, but a lot of y'all want other stuff too. That's concerning your health, your sanity, your mind, your peace, your family members, your children. So tomorrow in general, even for the people that don't go to a building, the church, just remember again, tomorrow on God's calendar, not this pagan calendar we live by, but tomorrow on God's calendar, that's a pretty special day. So be expecting, and again, verbalize it. Like literally open your mouth. I'll admit, y'all, I talk to God a lot in my mind. I pray silent. Tomorrow is not the day to do that. And for me, it started yesterday, actually. I was talking out loud, just talking and praying. Because y'all heard me pray. I just talk. It's just a conversation.
Yeah.
A prayer is a conversation between you and God. Make sense? So just speak. Communicate is probably a better word. Communicate with God tomorrow. Give him your wants, your desires, and those things that you also need. And again, my last advice, Shay, is to verbally say out loud. God, I want an independent living facility. I want to change the lives of people. I want to make a bunch of money doing it. God, I want you to honor me while I'm doing it. And I want my city to celebrate me on the Channel 8 news while I'm doing it. God, make all of this possible. And God, keep me away from the haters and from people trying to stop me doing this. Because God, I'm doing your will. God, it's that simple. Without any further ado, Father God, thank you so much for the seed that was sown today. God, thank you for the ability to give what you just gave Shay and I. God, by your Holy Spirit, bring all of this information back to their remembrance and let them not forget it. But God, also let no devil in hell stop them in terms of what you've already put in their heart. God, you said that the poor and needy will always be among us. So help us develop a program that can be the answer to affordable housing in our respective cities. And God, again, today I speak this. The devil is under all of our feet, all of that. And he has no control over our mind, our body, or our spirit. God, we put you first. In fact, God, we decrease so that you can increase inside of us. God, empty our cup, pour it all out, and God, pour you inside of it. God, allow these people that when they speak about what this is to the right people in their city, that it sounds like the best thing since sliced bread. God, give these people favor with city officials, decision makers, but God, also favor with you first, because God, if you give the favor, everything else falls into place. God, I speak the mind of Christ over these people. Depression, you must go. Dementia, you must go. Memory loss, you must go. Alzheimer's, you must go. Frustration, you must go. Aggravating circumstances, you must go. And God, give these people a clear mind, a sane mind, and most importantly, God, the mind of Christ. God, I get rid of fear today. You have not given us the spirit of fear, but power and love and of a sound mind to make decisions. God, help us make the right and godly decision every day. Let us not miss a day, God, where you're not in it. God, we put you first because you said in your word that if we put you first, you'll make all things happen for us as long as we give you the glory, the honor, and the praise for it. So God, again, be God in these people's lives today. Be no respecter of person, because God, you showed me a lady that was making 41 grand mistreating your people. God, why not us? And why not us do it the right way? So Father God, can you open up every door of opportunity for these people in my family? God, give us favor that we didn't even feel like we deserved. Because God, you've already paid the price for all of us to be successful. And what you've planted inside of each and every one of us is called purpose, which is allowing us to do your will. So God, again, give us an able body and the mind of Christ to do what you've called us to do. And God, again, we'll be ever so careful to give you the glory, you the honor, and you the praise. And God, now, before we ever get our first set of keys to the house, we say thank you now.
Yes, Lord.
God, we do, even in our minds, a Jericho march around the facility that we will get eventually. And God, we say thank you for the property. Thank you for the social workers, the case managers, the relationships. Thank you for every aspect of this business being given to us by you so that it all works out well. God, failure is not in our portion. Success is. And God, we give you the credit. Now unto him that is able to do exceedingly, abundantly, above all we could ever ask or think, according to God's power that worketh in us. You guys be great. Amen. And we'll see y'all Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Be great.
Have a blessed weekend.